Hey, what's good, people? Whether it's an earbud at work, in between class, while you working out, or sitting on your ass, I want to welcome you to the Charlie GTV podcast. And we have a hell of a show lined up here for you today. It's my first time finally getting another photographer, videographer on the podcast, man. Finally, someone I can nerd out with a little bit about cameras, man. I'm looking forward to it. You know what I mean? And in addition to that, we're going to talk about a whole lot about things in Detroit and the underground culture and a whole lot we're going to get into today. I'm really excited about this conversation. So without further ado, I got to introduce my guest here, man. He's a photographer, videographer, as I said, man, a young black brother making it happen out here. Right before Black Power Month, we're making it happen, you know what I'm saying? So we always like y'all to give a warm welcome to none other than Will Holland Productions. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Charlie. Thank you so much. I am blessed to be here.
No doubt. Anytime, you know what I'm saying? Thank you. So, what you call it, we normally start the podcast with what I call the watch this week. You know what I mean? Which is like, it could be a TV show, it could be an anime, it could even be a story time of something crazy happen, you know what I'm saying? But what is something that you would like have watched or that you want to recommend to the people? What literally came across your eyes that you can remember this week? Is it a comedian? Is it an Instagram channel? What happened?
That's a good one, man, because I watched a lot of stuff this week. I think one thing I wouldn't recommend to watch is Percy Jackson season 2 on Disney Plus, only because they're just moving so slow. Like, it's so slow. Like, last season, the first season, I was just tuned into it. I was really tuned into it. But this season is hard for me to sit still and just watch it. Like, I'm gonna have to watch the whole season when it's done. Like,
so you could binge watch it.
Yeah, so I could just sit there and just watch it because it's moving so slow. It's like reading a novel, and you're still on the same page.
That means a lot of setup. It's a lot of setup.
It's a lot of setup. That's why I'm like, maybe y'all should wait until it's finished for season 2 because by the time you finish watching season 2, it'll be season 5.
For real, right?
For real. That's how slow
crazy.
It's moving, y'all.
That's
for
crazy.
Real.
That's crazy. So yeah, go check out Percy Jackson on Disney Plus. You know what I'm saying? That got mad Marvel movies going on over there, man. But me, I've been watching, because y'all know me. I'll be never watching TV movies over that. But I've seen, as I quit my second job, I have a little bit more time, and also sometimes watching things helps increase my creativity because it gives me new ideas. It gives me new things to think about. You know what I mean? So I realize as a creative, I do have to ingest some media. You know what I mean? So what I've actually been watching lately is a crazy show. You know what I mean? Called Ted Lasso on Apple TV.
I'm gonna check that out.
Ted Lasso is a very good show. It's basically about a football coach that for some reason has to now coach a soccer team in England. You know what I mean? And he has like a country boy, American accent, and he's a heart of joy, and he's over there trying to coach these people, and the English people are giving him shit. It's really fun. The reason why I love the show so much, honestly, is because of my unique perspective on it. Fun fact, for a year and a half here in Michigan, I was a goalie for an indoor soccer team. Wow. For an indoor recreational soccer team, I was the goalie. You know what I mean? And I had never played soccer before. And I was just my buddy. My buddy was the goalie for the team. And he broke his wrist blocking a shot because, when you're indoor, soccer is way closer. The goal is smaller, but they also could shoot from way closer. So your reaction time matters way more in indoors because there's so little space. And also, there's the amount of power you get doesn't have time to slow down. So it can hit you very hard. And some of these people, I used to say they have gunpowder at the ankles. Some people kick and you can block their shot. And some people kick it so hard you almost don't. You wanna go dive on. You wanna stop it from when before they kick, because once they kick the ball, it's like you're almost risking your life to block the shot, bro.
They legs
You know
got
what I mean?
horsepower.
Yeah, it'd be like it's flying at you, and so he broke his wrist. My coworker, he said, "Yeah, do you want to fill in and be be the goalie for my team?" You know what I mean? I was like, for some reason, I said, "Yeah." And that's when I discovered that I had cat-like reflexes. I didn't know that before that. I did that. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know. Because the only reason I was able to stay goalie for that year and a half, even though when he got healed up, he still came back with the back foot, is because I didn't. My kicking skills was shit. Even throwing the ball, I wasn't that good at it. But when it came to like, I made some saves. I made some saves that was like, there's no way he should have blocked that. Like, dude is where the camera's at. And I blocked it. Like, but to me, the people was like, whoa. It was a type of block where it was like, there's no way I should have blocked that. And the funny thing is that I got in better shape and got like, I worked out a little bit. And when I went back to go do it, I was worse.
Wow.
Because all the muscle like made me like tighter. Even though I was in worse shape, I was like looser. Like my body was easier to move somehow. And even though I was stronger and in better shape, I was more like rigid. I was less like fluid somehow. You know what I mean? So I was actually better off the bench in no shape, just all reflexes. I was blocking the shit out of them. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
And the craziest thing about the last thing I'll say about it is that go watch Ted Lasso, because it was like it's a fish out of water. Like it's me. I don't know shit about soccer, but I was dived in there now, and I actually loved it. I grew, and it was a co-ed league. You know what that means? That means that there were women playing with us in little shorty shorts, kicking the little ball. So sometimes it was a girl. So hey, it was a co-ed league, yeah, and there were girls on my team too.
And
You
they
see what I'm
drove
saying,
minivans.
fellas? Yeah, like you see what I'm saying? Like, nah, this is a low-key, untapped dating pool you ain't never tried before. Hold on, recreational co-ed sports, my nigga. I'm trying to. You listening? But anyway, look. Look, all I'm saying is this: had a great time. Ted Lasso was a great show on Apple TV. Go check them out. One last thing about Apple TV, I learned through Apple TV shoots with these cameras called. There was rumors of them about to buy them, like the same way how Nikon bought Red cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There was rumors that Apple was gonna buy Ari cameras. You ever heard of Ari?
Yes.
Those
I used to have a crush on Ari.
Yeah, Ari. I still to this day, bro. I fantasize about those can. They got Ari got $60,000. Ari got $100,000 cameras, my nigga. You ain't. Ari tell Red to go sit down somewhere. Like,
You know
them
what's
Ari
so
cameras.
interesting? Everybody wants a Ari.
That's like.
It's so crazy.
That's like.
It's like
That's above Black Magic. Any other that Ari cameras is above all of them. You just know that. Like
Ari cameras is like tacos. Everybody can eat them. Everybody likes them.
mm-hmm.
Everybody loves them.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, everybody wants them, and that's what Ari is. It's like everybody in the neighborhood who plays basketball or play football.
That's the league.
That's the league.
Yeah,
that's the league
yeah.
everybody wants to be in.
Yeah,
And I'm just not gonna just hold back. You know, I'm looking at Sony cameras right now. I looked at Black Magics. I looked at Red cameras. I looked at Lumix, Fuji films. However, I want an Ari. I want an Ari so bad.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, if you hear me right now, Lord, test me with an Ari camera.
Yeah, for real.
Test me with an Ari camera.
Jesus, I want Ari so bad. But right now, my creme de la creme that I'm like. All right, so let's get into that then. Even though there's more camera, there's other questions I had before that, but let's just dive into the camera thing real quick. So last I remember, you are a Canon shooter. Although you did say that you're a camera operator and you can use any brand of camera, but
Yes.
you are a Canon shooter, right?
Yes.
Now, for me personally, the way I look at it, and honestly, Sony's lead on this is now questionable because of technology. I always looked at it like, how can I put it? Canon, to me, always was the king of color science. If you want a camera that will give you the most professional look without you having to touch it, Canon is probably the best, most accessible way to do that. You know what I mean? In my opinion, due to the color science and the way that it's great. But they also lock you in with the lens, a tight lens ecosystem, and they do charge the fuck out you for them. But at the end of the day, you buy a Canon, you take those shots, it's gonna look professional as fuck coming out that camera. You know
He's
what I'm
not
saying?
lying.
However, the price versus versatility and what I want to do, Sony is known to me for a while was known to have the best autofocus in the game. Sony was the best auto. So it was Canon had the best color science and Sony has the best autofocus. But because AI will autofocus, that autofocus lead has been chipped away like a motherfucker. So the autofocus lead to me isn't as pertinent in 2025 as it was maybe 5, 10 years ago. You know what I mean? Even though I still think Sony might have the edge on it, but now it's come down to like price and capability, like what it enables you to do. That price hurting, like I'm broke, all right? So I'm not even trying to fuck with full frame because full frame, once you get a full frame, now you gotta get full frame lenses, and full frame lenses are no joke, bro. And the whole thing about lenses really, I didn't know it was true until I bought that lens. Like, so when I bought the Sony ZV-E10, it came with the kit lens, and I rocked with the kit lens for a while. And then I bought what I was told was the top of the line third party lens, which is Sigma. So
Yes.
I bought that as a 30 millimeter Sigma lens.
Yep.
When I bought that Sigma lens for my Sony ZV-E10, it felt like I bought a new camera.
Yes.
I was
Yes.
like, wow, the pictures that I was
Mhm.
like, the sharpness, the depth of field, the
Yes.
1.4 thing, I was like, oh,
It's all in the lens.
I was like, okay, lenses, because I heard a bunch of photographers say that watching YouTube videos, but until you see it yourself, like I always thought, yeah, but that camera body is probably doing a lot, and it was always like lenses matter more, lenses,
Lenses.
and what
Yes.
they always said that lenses outlast camera bodies. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like I might like when I buy the FX30, I'm gonna put that same lens on the FX30 and it's gonna be beautiful.
I
You know what
know
I'm
that's
saying? Because
right.
the APS-C lens, you know, APS-C. So the reason why I went to Sony, I'm just saying the reason why I went to Sony personally, like because I want to ask you why you chose Canon, why you
Oh
with
yeah, I
Canon.
got you.
You know what I mean? But the reason why I picked Sony is because of an APS-C workflow that I'm pursuing.
Okay.
APS-C is to me more affordable on the lens side and also more affordable on the camera side. And with the proper lighting, I feel like I could get about 80% of the quality of like the FX30 is the APS-C version, its big brother is the FX3. The FX3 is Netflix approved camera, it's $4,000. The FX30 is $1,700. With proper lighting, the FX30 and the is often used as a B camera for the FX3 because the footage is almost it's indistinguishable almost. But it's just that when you get down to low lighting, the fact that you have a full frame, that FX3, from what I hear, is basically having night vision. From what I hear, like the
Yeah.
low light footage of that camera is crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but look, so it seems like, in my opinion, looking at no other camera company respects APS-C frame enough to give that camera enough professional features for me to feel comfortable using it in a professional setting other than Sony. Like, for example, the FX30. Everyone's talking about the FX3 killer. There is no FX30 killer. For $1,700 for an APS-C lens, for a camera, it has a fan in it. It could do 10-bit color, 4K, all of that. Like, that camera is great for that price. That camera could do a lot, and it's only $1,700, and it's an APS-C. And the lenses you could get for that camera, you could get lenses like I want to do football shit one day maybe, and the lenses for the APS-C along is cheaper. And if you do buy a full frame, that's another thing too about the APS-C people don't know. So look, sharpness in a photo, right? The sharpest part of a photo, from what I oh wait, before I go on, I have to ask you let me ask the question. Why did you choose Canon? Why did you choose Canon?
Okay. So, riddle me this. What do Canon, Nikon, Sony, Fujifilm, and Ari all have in common?
A desirable look.
Close. However, all that stuff you could put in your hands and you could take pictures and videos with it.
Yeah.
It's like Kia, Cadillac, Lincoln, Chevy, Toyota, and Bentley. All they have in common is the fact that all their vehicles can drive. It's a preference. If you want to go luxury, you go Bentley or Lincoln.
Mm.
If you just want something, um, just a reliable car that'll last you a long time, Toyota. It's a preference thing. You choose what's beneficial for you. You said it during your speech, about Sony. How you appreciate them using APS-C and valuing that. That's a preference that you have. However, with me, it wasn't because I just looked at Canon and said, "Oh, I want a Canon." It's just Canon to me was like one of the best companies, camera companies in the world at the time, and that's what we used at school. And when I, was talking to my friends about, buying a camera, they all said Canon. And I saw one girl, she had her camera at school, and I mean to tell you, I'm gonna be real with you because I grew up poor. I'm gonna be honest with you,
Mm-hmm.
I grew up poor. When I saw that girl with that $500, $600 camera in the side of the library, and she took that picture, it was like, wow, she got
Mm-hmm.
something dope. Like she got power. She don't even know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what she did with her life. I don't know. We weren't friends, but we have power,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to, you know, you know, try to worship it as an idol or anything. But I'm just telling you, it's with cameras. You have a ability like no other. You have a gift,
Mm-hmm.
and you gotta be chosen for this, to do this. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do it for the money. You gotta do it for the career. You gotta be a creative. You said it earlier, a creative. And that's what creatives do. When you go shopping and you're an artist, you're going for supplies, you make sure you get supplies that's gonna benefit you when you're creating your content.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you do it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's like a preface thing.
Yeah.
And so when I chose Canon, it was just because of the fact of that was Hollywood suggested by me, and that's where I went. And when I got my first camera, I stuck with Canon. But you're actually right. With me, I've used Canon, Sony. Um, I've also, I believe, Canon, Sony. I think that's about it. And I done a fabulous job with all three of them. I could still do videos. I could still take pictures. It doesn't matter. I personally like the Sony camera. Sony and Canon look better than I like the Nikon look. That's my
Yeah.
least favorite.
Yeah.
But however, with the Sony, when it comes to videos, I love
The
Sony.
video.
I love it.
That's another thing.
Sony's I can just do a regular video and it look like a whole
Mm-hmm.
film, a TV series. Whereas with Canon, I like the photography look of
Mm-hmm.
it. I love
Mm-hmm.
it. The portrait film look is beautiful. Sometimes with Sony, I feel like their pictures be too high tech.
Mm-hmm.
And me, like I said, I'm an artist, so I look for a certain style that I'm aiming for. So I like the way Canon gives me that cool style that I be aiming for when it comes to photography. They have some cameras that are good at videos that I've looked at. They have phenomenal results. Same thing with Sony. It's just like I said, it's a preference. With me personally, whatever the Lord has for me is for me. If He wants me to stay with Canon, I
Yeah.
stay with Canon. If He wants me to do both, I'll do both.
Listen, I totally agree with you. The funny part is that's funny you say that because when I was first thinking about it, I just realized I was too broke to make this decision. But if I could do exactly kind of how I want, I would do exactly what you're talking about because I think that Canon is better for photos and I think Sony is better at videos. It's the same thing honestly between the Galaxy phones or the Pixel phones and the iPhone. The iPhone is better at videos. It's still the best phone video camera you can buy, but I feel like sometimes some of those Pixel photos, some of those guys might haven't beaten the photo range.
Did
You know what I
Did you
mean?
have an Android before?
Nah, I mean way back in the day, but never a premium Android. Nah,
Cause I went up to Galaxy Note 4, I believe.
yeah,
That was the highest I went.
yeah,
And I had some after that. They were kind of like after that phone, I had pretty bad Metro PCS
yeah.
Androids. But when I made the switch over to iPhone, I noticed I like the iPhone better because of
Uh-huh.
communication. That's why just communication. I
Yep.
love the iPhone for that. However, with Android, I just felt like I was free to do whatever I want. I could have been a scammer because I
Yeah,
was
iPhone.
downloading
Yeah,
all my
yep.
music and
Android's
stuff.
way better at being
Well,
illegal.
yeah, you could download a whole movie on your Android phone. Don't nobody care. The
Apple stop all
FBI,
of that. Apple stopping
the,
all of that.
the FBI won't raid your house. Shoot, I on iPhone, I tried to put my one of my videos on my iPhone, and shoot, they kicked down the door. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
you're
For
scamming. I was like,
real.
what?
For real. Nah, with the but the thing about iPhones is that communication between iPhones is pretty much free, low key. You know what I mean? There's a couple of times that's made my life a little easier. You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like you could always text another iPhone, even if your bill ain't right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's iMessage. The iMessage gonna go through every time. You know
Yeah,
what
you
I'm
gotta have
saying?
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, you just gotta have the Wi-Fi. That's all. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can't never let go of the Wi-Fi. But yo, um, so back to the kid. But yeah, now the Canon, the photo, like so the first camera I ever touched and used was the Canon Rebel T3i, and
Oh,
it
a
was my
classic.
and it was my buddies. My buddy Muhammad, he had a Canon Rebel T3i. We was in Manhattan, we was in New York, and he was taking pictures with it. He let me hold it, take a picture with it, and I saw that just with my amateur, just with the autofocus, with the auto settings, that picture looked like some shit out of a movie. It looked like
Yeah,
I don't know.
cinematic.
It looked so like it looked so good to me, and I was just like, damn. And then the next camera I had a chance to touch was a camera that my mom still owns. It was a Nikon camera. It was expensive too, but the
Oh,
Nikon camera was like almost I don't know because it had a bunch of megapixels, but it was like almost too. It had no character to the photo.
oh,
Something,
Nikon.
but yeah, I wasn't a fan of it. You know what I mean? And now I shoot on Sony, and Sony I like their video more than their pictures. Like that camera right there is a more video first camera. You know what I mean? It does great with video. Photos is good with the lens, but like I love the video out of that. And that's why I know when I buy the FX30, which is gonna be even better than that, I know I'm gonna love the FX30 because like I said, I care more about videos. I do. You know what I mean? But Canon has always to me like I've always looked at Canon as like the Apple of cameras for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah,
Canon is like yeah, like yeah, RE is like the top, but like in the accessible range, I always feel like everyone's fighting to take Canon's spot at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
and it also has to do with Canon
Canon.
is very versatile. Like they got cinema cameras, they got video cameras, they got just photography
And that's
cameras,
another thing.
point and shoot. It's just versatility. Like DSLRs, and then Sony got the I believe the mirrorless and full frames. So does Canon. So it's just versatility, really, when it comes to Canon. And Canon, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can use a Tamron lens, a Sigma lens. So can with Sony, but Sony's a lot more expensive. Shoot, you'll be paying for a Cadillac.
Nah. Canon more expensive if you ask me, especially when they lock you in with the lens. Like that $300 lens I bought there, you literally can't get that for Canon. That same lens, good luck, good luck. But look though, I'm gonna rewind it back to. I'm sorry, Cam. That's why I had the cam. I love camera guys on this. So back to the first question I was supposed to ask. So, what was it like for you growing up? Was it a single parent household? Did grandma raise you? Do you have a bunch of brothers and sisters? What was it like for you growing up? Where were you born?
So I was born in Flint, Michigan, at Hurley Hospital, I believe. That's what I was told. How- However, so when my dad had already had 4 kids, so I'm number 5 for him, and I was her firstborn for her. And so,
Wow.
I lived with my mom for a while. We lived with my grandpa, and then, we had our own spot with me, my mom, and my grandma at one point, and then, my mom moved to Detroit, and my grandpa took me under his wing. I lived with him. It was either him or the system. And I'll be honest with you, I went in that courtroom and I said, I choose him, not the
Yeah.
system. I already knew it was coming. So I lived with him for until I graduated from high school.
So it was grandpa.
Yeah.
So you say you had your moms,
And my mom's.
and then you had to go with your grandpa
Yes.
for all of high school.
For all my life. Yep. From the age of 8 years old all the way
Oh,
to
longer, yeah, eight to. So shout out grandpa. So you listen, having a man in your life is very valuable.
yes, it
You know what
is.
I'm saying? So what was it like growing up with your grandpa? Was it a strict household? What was it like?
So it was kind of like he was like his way or the highway, pretty much.
Mm.
cause he's old school Vietnam veteran, so he old school.
Ah, I respect
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Grew up there in the 50s. Old school, old school. So he pretty much, I did what I supposed told by him. I was fine, but when I ever stepped out of line or I got punished, and he wasn't really big on whoopings. He kind of like for a minute he gave us whoopings, then he just stopped, and then he just knew how to mess with us mentally, and that's how
Mm.
he disciplined us. Like he would take our privileges. That's how he
Yeah.
really did it. He wasn't too. He got strict as I got older because he made clear he wasn't paying for college.
Mm.
He didn't want that bill. That bill was high.
Mm.
Especially in America, it was high. Um,
He probably would have encouraged you to do what he did and go into the army, didn't he?
that's why, and I'm doing, and that was kind of like a shocking surprise for him because he was like, "You sure you want to do that?" And I was like, "Yeah," and I did it.
You did?
Yes, I went into the Army Reserves at the age of 19 in my senior year of high school,
Wow.
and enlisted in 2015 and discharged 2021.
Wow. That's
I'm a
not that long
reserves
ago.
E4 specialist. My MOS was motor operator, 88 Mike.
Wow, I respect it. Thank yo. I mean, listen, my man's a good in there, man. I appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Cause I ain't had the balls. I ain't had the balls because but you know when you in the hood, when you in the hood, like they always sending recruiters. They always sending recruiters. You know what I'm saying? Or the unnecessary gunshot. They
But
always
here's the
sending
funny
recruiters to your
part.
high
I
school.
wasn't in the hood. I went to all white high school.
All white high school.
Now, when from kindergarten, preschool to kindergarten, all the way to 8th grade, I was in the hood. However, when it came to high school, I was out there, predominantly white school, Swartz Creek, Michigan. Go Dragons.
I respect that. I kind of wish my little sister did something like that. You know what I mean? Because she damn near, not damn, she like at the top of her class. If she don't mess it up the next 2 years, she'll probably be valedictorian. But I always told her she should have went to another school that's like more gonna challenge her a little more. That's because I forgot what school she's going to, but it's like I wanted her to go into a high school that you got to either test to get into or it's in a different area. Like I know it might be a little less convenient to get over there, but at the same time, it'll challenge you more. Like you know what I'm saying? As opposed to you being a big fish in a little pond. You know what I'm saying?
I understand where you're coming from because they did challenge me. It
Yeah.
was they was see what hey okay what you about. I used to be like one only black student in the room.
So
So
another question I have for you here is, who were you in high school? What kind of kids did you hang out with? Was it the nerds, the athletes, the popular kids, the emo goth kids? Was you a loner because you was in the white school? Like you know what I'm saying? What was it like for you in high school?
it was kind of different. Way different than what I expected to be. I was kind of friendly with everybody. Everybody knew me as a goofy guy. I had my own talk show called the Will Holden Show. I used to do the news at school. Um, I was very goofy, loud. Like I said, I didn't really like have too many friends I hung outside class with for real, for real. Because I just, sometimes I just was to myself at the same time. I was cool with everybody. I was in the hallways cracking jokes.
Yeah.
You know, I learned how to joke with white people. It was fun. It was a.
Did you ever do any of the sports over there?
I didn't do any sports. I did theater though. That
That's
was
dope.
my thing. I was always interested in the film industry. That was my goal
Mm,
in life to be an actor and director. So
I
I,
love
I
that.
and I enjoyed that program. That's why I liked it about the school. They gave us opportunities and stuff. That's where I discovered really me. Like this is
Yeah.
what I really want to do in life. I don't want to be no doctor or I don't want to be a firefighter or a teacher. I want to be an actor and director because I'm a creative guy. I be sitting. I used to sit in my room all the time, and I would write stories, or I would like images of stuff will come in my head, and I be wanting to create, and that's what my interest was. So
I respect that. I respect. So you do have an interest in being an actor?
yes, sir.
I love that. I love that, man. You know what I mean? Because I do as well. But the thing is, like, sometimes one of the problems I have is like, if I'm behind the camera, then it's hard for me to be in front of the camera. And whoever's behind the camera, a lot of times, like for my friend, that's why I don't have anybody that I could trust behind the camera that I know is gonna capture it at least at a certain level. You know what I mean? Because I gotta focus on doing my thing in front of the camera. So just with certain shots, like sure, yeah, like the new gimbal I bought could track me around with the camera, like whatever, cool. But like that's not the same as like walking with you like a pan and shot, like a real director with the camera. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I think about people like Adam Sandler, and when he made his movies early on, it was like with his friends and his rap pack. It's like, but they might play double roles. Like you might be an actor in the movie and then be the sound guy too. Like, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like you got to do both, my guy.
yeah.
Like I need you to be the nigga in this role and hold it down. And now I need you to hold the camera down. You know what I'm saying? And having people in the crew that could do both, that can lend that to that care about it. Because like I think about that. That's why I want to make movies so bad, bro. But it's like to make movies, you kind of need other people. Even though I feel like, of course, I could probably play a couple roles myself on some Nutty Professor shit. But at the same time, who's behind the camera? Who's it for? Like, come on, you need people, and that's like the most anxiety part of me. That's why I've been trying to reach out and find people in the film industry because it's like, even if I had all the cameras, hypothetically, how can I convince these people to do it for like a couple beers, you know, and a couple blunts? Listen,
Good
dog, I got 10 on your gas money.
I
Listen,
don't have the answer
dog,
for that
listen.
one. You're gonna have to hire some
Yeah,
crackheads.
exactly.
I'm not quite sure where you're gonna find
Exactly.
anybody in the industry to do that.
That's what I'm saying, dog.
But
And I
no,
mean, like,
honestly, so to help you out, it's about networking. Honestly, that's the key word for this situation. It's networking. For example, with my director from my podcast, Tacos and Talks with Will, I met the director before when I came up with the idea, we were both shooting that event and we were talking. I took pictures of him. He said, "Bro, thank you. I really love these pictures, bro. Anytime you need a a camera guy, I got you, bro, for the
yeah,
low. I got you on the love." I said, "All right, cool, cool." And I told him about the show because he was the only person that offered the help. That was the camera guy. So I
yeah,
was like, okay. He said any times it's the perfect time. So we got
uh
our camera guy, and Lord beholds how God works. Um, he became a camera guy, and he's been doing an awesome job. And we both work together. He invites me to gigs to help him do, and he pays me, and
huh.
he looks out for me all the time.
That's dope.
Yeah, so it's just about networking, and
Yeah,
then another thing to help you out. And you talking about you catch anxiety because of who's behind the camera is that's the best. That's actually good because now
no, I mean,
it
like,
will help you find the right person and
yeah,
build trust. With Atlas, like I said, I'm behind the camera all the time. However, when Atlas was shooting, I gave him the idea of what I wanted. I communicated with him,
hmm
and directed him in the and I directed him in the way I was going, and he understood that. It's about communication and having
he
the
was
complete.
behind the camera.
Yeah, he's behind the camera filming
Uh,
me
mm.
in front of the camera for my podcast.
I see what you're
Yeah,
saying.
yep.
Yeah,
So I gave him the direction that I wanted, and the idea, and I shared the vision, and it's about knowing the vision. Write it down, make it plain.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes communicating the vision. You're right about that because you communicate the vision and y'all can be on the same page and y'all can get it done. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you need somebody. I guess I forgot the settings locked in already if it's on order already. But I need somebody that might be able to see that the ISO ain't high enough or it's not, or so like those are changing lighting. You know what I mean? That could like
Yeah.
know to make these adjust, that know to look, that know what to do. Like if something's not quite right, you know what I'm saying? Or if I'm
Mm-hmm.
out of focus, they know maybe use a tap to focus or who mess with it. Like they know, they know what to look out for. That they know what could go wrong, what the quality we want, and
Oh
how
yeah.
to adjust the camera settings to maintain that quality throughout whatever we're filming. You know what I mean? And it's like it just takes a little like yeah, you got to get familiar with the camera, but like if you don't have a certain amount of knowledge, you're not even gonna. And it's kind of act like. to build some, like, but then you just gotta trust the settings of the camera. But like I said, when they don't know, like if I handed you this camera and I put the ISO extra high for no reason, and I gave it up, and I guess you would looking at it and be like, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but like, yo, this this ain't gonna work, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have had it set for inside. We stepped outside, the whole shit looked crazy. Let me see if
Yeah.
I can get this back looking how it's supposed to. You know what I'm
What?
saying?
Yeah, that's why you got to have a professional. That's what
Yeah,
I did. That's why I got. I'm glad I got Atlas. Atlas has gave me the cinematic look that I asked him for. You
yeah.
know, like I said, it's about
What
communication
kind of
and
camera he uses?
um
Always
the
curious.
FX30.
Yeah, the FX30. See the FX30.
Yeah.
Like I said, 10-bit color. You see, the only 10-bit. They say that my. I don't even believe them. Fuck what they say. The only 10-bit color I really got right now is my Mini 3 Pro, which is a drone. My drone footage, and it's funny because I always knew my drone footage looked a little cinematic. Like how I look, it just got a certain look. I'm telling you, it's that 10-bit color, man.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
10-bit, that color
Yeah.
depth. That's
Yeah.
like that. Because the next step is once I get the FX30, I was gonna try to invest in some anamorphic lenses because that's the other thing. I learned about anamorphic lenses and what they do to footage, and that is the net. So anamorphic lenses plus 10-bit color, plus some decent lighting, and that bitch gonna look like a movie, dog.
Man.
Shit gonna look like a movie,
And
dog.
that's gonna make people want to watch your stuff anymore because
Yeah,
man, it's just like having great quality is dope. Like someone, you know, when people comment on my videos, they always say, "Well, your stuff be so clear and dope, it be like a mini movie."
like your
I
photos
just
stuff do
love
be
that.
clear.
You want that. You want that feeling. You want that quality.
Speaking of clarity, one of the things I noticed that you use is flash, your flash photography. So
Oh yes.
when did you start doing flash photography, and what made you want to lean into that style of doing it?
So originally, when I got my first camera, the Canon SL1, I bought me a flash with it. It was like a little cheap flash, about $30 I found on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it lasted me a good while until I bought me a Canon flash.
Mm.
Yeah, so that cost me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. However, so when you in like doing events photography or weddings or you know stuff like that where you got to do a arm flash, um, you just want to make sure you adjust your flash correctly, the power of the flash correctly. Before you use the flash, make sure you take a picture without the flash for the ambient light to see. Make sure your settings on your camera is correct. Then you put the flash on. You test out each power. You know, you start from the lowest. Some people start from the lowest power or the highest power. It's whatever. Either way, just long as you got the correct setting for the power on your flash, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Me personally, I saw how my cousin did it, and his pictures was looking like clear, like see through. And so I just was like, man, I want this. And what I do is with my flash, I bounce it off the ceiling with the diffuser on it.
Ah.
I bounce it off the ceiling that way it spreads. Sometimes I may have to point my flash directly. That happens sometimes. I know a lot of photographers that do it. Either way is fine, whether you bounce it or you do
Indirect light
direct.
or direct. Yeah.
Whichever one, just long as your settings is all correct. It's wherever it's your preference. It's a
Yeah.
preference thing. Me personally, I like to bounce things
'Cause
off.
it's a look you're going for.
Yeah, it's a certain look.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes I do direct lighting, you know, depending on the environment, you know. Maybe the ceiling's too high for me to bounce. So I was like, all right, I got to be direct with it. So it's whatever is best for you. But like I said, personally, I mostly go with the bouncing off the wall. But like I said, with the flash photography, it's fun. You just gotta know your lighting, your lighting, your lighting.
Yeah.
If your lighting is too much, then the person's gonna, you know, be overexposed. If your lighting too low, then you're underexposed.
I agree.
You want it right there in the middle, so that way if you need to bring it up just a little bit, bring it down just a little bit.
I agree.
And last thing, when it comes to flash photography, they help you out. This is my gym, my hidden gym. Keep your lighting consistent. So when it's time to edit, you don't have to do all that work. You can do copy and paste
Yeah, it was a
in editing.
Lightroom. Yeah.
That way in Lightroom you don't have to
Mm-hmm.
edit every picture. You just
That's a pro tip. See,
you know
gotta,
what I'm saying.
I know exactly what you're
You
saying.
just keep your
Because
lighting
I love,
consistent.
like, when I first learned that with
Even
Lightroom,
without the
because
flash,
it'll
keep
let
your
you.
lighting consistent. Yeah.
I love that because so when I learn because you really are right. It really is preference. Wait, let me change one thing real quick. One thing. Black.
Oh, there we go.
That's all.
You can see my pretty face.
Yeah, you got to see his face a little bit more. You know what I mean? But yeah, you can raise it a little. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, what you call it? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, one of the things I like about flash photography, and the video pointed out to me that I never quite thought about. Yeah, get some more, man. Popo, man. Get some more shot, man. But yeah, is the fact that it does give a slight more of a vintage type feel, because when you see photos of celebrities back in the day, it was there was no non-flash photography. Like
Oh yeah.
like that is what photography, but
Even
you
in
had
sports.
because the light, what the cameras weren't advanced enough to be able to capture enough light to even do it. So because of that, it does give a vintage look sometimes, and it has a certain, a certain classical, classy look to it sometimes on the right thing. So like I've always been interested in that. You know what I'm saying? Plus, when you do get a Canon type one, when it's like I'm gonna have a little LED screen on it, one thing I've learned is that like technology impresses clients, whether it's necessary or not. Like size and so even me pulling up there with a regular camera, even if I wasn't using the flash, it would look better if I had the flash on there and not use it than to have the camera there with it. Even if I chose that, because the setup looks bigger with it. Unless you, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now it's a totally vain thing that I'm talking about, but it's a thing. Like I heard a person talk about this with drones, because she was talking about how like the Mini 5 Pro is only whatever it is, like $1,000. The drone a little bit bigger than that is like 13, 14. It's not even that much more. But he was like, when he whips out the drone that's a little bit bigger, it looks a little bit less accessible, and it makes the person feel like you're slightly more of a professional. Even though the footage you get with the Mini 5 Pro, he's like, yo, it is professional footage. It's just as good footage, but the impression it makes on the client matters because of how much they value, how much they pay. So having a setup with the flash on, I'm just saying, gives you a more professional look overall, I feel like, and adds to the perceived value of what you're doing, in my opinion. You know what I mean? So, because like I just got a gimbal. I never had I felt like it was necessary for me to get a gimbal. This gimbal was $450. It's the RS4 Mini. All right, yeah, the Mini. I ain't getting the 700 on a gimbal. Give me a break. All right, it was already $450, and with the Black Friday sale, $389. It's already enough, right? But you see, when they see you pull up with the gimbal, looking at it with the camera, now they feel like, oh, it's looking at more. Wait till I get the little $300 monitor that I would put on the bitch to put the thing. Now I got a little monitor, external monitor on there. Now it's looking like, oh shit, he doing something. Now he do like, and it'd be like, yo, bro, it's the same camera. When I got the gimbal, the client's friend was like, oh, you got a new camera, and it's like, no, I didn't get a new camera. It's the same camera,
Yeah.
but because I got a gimbal now you think it's a new camera. Now it's like, because what all they're seeing is the setup is bigger. That's all they're seeing, is the setup is now like a little bigger, a little more complicated, which gives their perceived professionalism.
That you're advanced.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Advanced. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's nothing like a good rig out setup, you know what I mean? So I respect the flashlight. And the fact I didn't know that you could have it like, they said, because you got a Canon one, so like it could probably tie in better with the settings of the camera. They said like you can get it to sync with like your shutter speed and different things. And I was like, this low key like this, that flash photography has like levels to it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a whole little thing you can get. Like you said,
Yes.
indirect, direct, then direct. Maybe the
Yes.
settings are
Mhm.
different. Like there's a whole. That's a whole thing, bro. It's a whole it's a whole thing.
Whole thing.
It's a whole thing for real. As opposed to like, but for me, like, I don't know. I like the candid shot more. So I like looking like I like the fly on the wall shot. So for that, if I'm the flash, as much as it does give you like that star, I give you that star. It has its own genesis crowd, but the candid photo for me able to capture you with your homies talking, or capture you and your little you just you meet up your homie, you're just about to give have that first interaction. I gotta capture the moment without interrupting, affecting the moment. So I might have to be a little bit further away from you. So if I'm a little bit further away from you, then my flash might not be able to reach you. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta have a camera with enough. Either like I said, I don't have a full frame camera yet, so APS-C struggles in low light. But now I gotta get a camera with like that. Like this is a f1.4 stop. The best I could probably get is a 1.2 if I want. For that, and that, what the hell are you? Shut up! And no one talking to you. Anyway, the best the best I could get is like a 1 point. But I'm just saying for that low light scenarios, it's like, and when you shooting in a club and stuff, it is low light. So it's like that flash is like really helpful in them low light scenarios. You know what
Yes,
I'm saying? But that candid is hard to get. So but it depends on what you're going for.
but you
Cause
said it already. You gotta be a fly on the wall. That's the
yeah,
key.
yeah,
I
that
do
fly on the wall.
candidate shots, and like 95% of my work is candidate shots because I'm like a fly on the wall,
Yeah,
and it's about just capturing them.
capturing the moment and
Yeah,
what's
just
happening
capturing the
there. That
moment,
yeah,
and you just gotta. It's like, okay, I see why I was in the army. We learn how to catch our enemies,
slipping and when they're not
slipping
protected.
with
Yeah,
the fundamentals, looking through the scope on the
yep,
weapon.
yep.
That's how I
Through the scope,
do the viewfinder on your
exactly.
camera. I know how to capture you. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
That's the reason why, like low key, like I tried to do street photography in downtown Detroit, right? And the reason why, like I want that lens, I want for sports or for
The
like
70 to 200.
yeah, that one I also plan to use for street photography because when you're trying to capture like a block on Detroit or people coming out of a thing, like if you're on that physical block and they see you with the camera, they like react to it. They like, "What are you doing?" Or like they look at the. But if you could take that same shot from across the street, you know what I mean, where like they can't see you taking the shot.
Yes, yeah, I get with
Now,
you.
yeah, now you can capture what you're trying to capture
Uh
without
huh.
affecting the people. Now, to some people that might sound a little creepy, but what I'm just trying to say is like getting candy. I don't want to affect you guys. I don't want you guys to like,
You don't
you know
want
what
to
I'm
be a
saying?
distraction.
Yeah, distraction and yeah, I'm saying, but I want to capture that moment, capture people having fun and down, just getting out the club with their friends, having fun. Like I want to capture those moments in Detroit, but I'd have to be across the street or maybe slightly down the block or just not right there, so you can't see me at that exact moment.
Can I give you that word I gave to you earlier that
What?
helped me with this situation?
What?
Communication. There's been times where I came around a group of people, I'm shooting an event, they see me, they want to pose. I said, okay, cool guys, I'll take your picture while you're posing, but I want you guys to live in the moment and pretend I'm not here. And they'll do it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Just catch them off guard. To be honest with you, um, when it comes to like shooting some of the celebrities, a lot of them they like it when I just capture them in the moment. They don't
Exactly.
really like the picture when they just.
They
I
got to
mean, they like it.
pose.
It's cool for them to say, "Oh, this is my," to see an outfit. But they like for you to just to capture them in the moment. You know what I'm saying? They
That's
like
what I'm
to.
saying. That's dope. But like to catch me in action. That's what I think. That's what I would want. So that's what I'm always like. I like the candid photos better. So, question now is, how has Detroit changed in your eyes over the years? Even though you say you was born in Flint, so I guess I could ask the same question for Flint. But even though as a New Yorker, anytime people hear Flint, you know what they think, and if you know the water. I still got people in New York that ask me if I got water out here. So is the water, nigga. Like I'm like that's Detroit, Flint. Like they don't even know that they don't even know. But anyway, how was it changed in your opinion? Over how old are you anyway?
I'm actually 30. I just turned 30.
30. Hey, in the 30 club. I turned 32 this year, man. You right around it. That's dope, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, go ahead. So how's it
So
changed?
with Flint, they have improved their downtown. When I was a kid, there were like two events that we know we can go to. There's two reasons why we went. Well, it was like three reasons why we went downtown. One reason was for the fair. The other reasons for back to the bricks, and the last reason is the Secretary of State.
Yeah.
Just in case it depends on what you needed. However, now they have put in restaurants down there. They're improving. The pavement, it looks very clean and nice.
Downtown Flint.
Downtown Flint looks
Okay.
very nice. It's improved a whole lot. The only thing I wish it would give, and they got some clubs down there from what I hear. I actually tried to go into one, but I couldn't find a parking spot, so I went home. at
They
the
even still
time I
got
was
parking problems
at
in
the
Flint
time I was
downtown?
living in Flint. I had like I'm like where should I park, and so I just went home. You
That's
know what I'm saying? I'm
crazy.
like, nah, I'm not doing this. However, it's good that they're having more. And then they got photography studios downtown. That's something new.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's a few people with their studios downtown that I know, and I'm very proud of them. And then my friend Adriana Carol Jones, she throws fashion shows downtown, like in that area. And I'm
Mm.
so proud of her, from just being like a city influence to the city,
Yeah,
inspire them to, okay, we can be better. Let's do better for the city.
100%.
Yes, and a lot of from what I'm seeing is a lot of like more activity with the universities because U of M, we have a U of M downtown. You was called U of
Mm.
M Flint.
Mm.
Yeah, and they're building like apartment complex downtown too. So I'm
Okay,
very proud of Flint.
downtown Flint got
They
got
they
some
got it
work. They
coming.
working
I'm
down
very
there.
proud of them.
Okay.
I'm not mad at them at all.
All right, all
I'm
right.
very
They're
proud of
working
them.
down there. That's not something you hear of. That's not my impression. But I was there years and years ago though. So I was on, and I only was drove through there for a second. I went to one precinct and left out because I had somebody rob me for like $700 or something like that in Flint. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't cool. You know, I didn't give me a good impression on Flint. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, that
yeah,
happens,
yeah.
and it still happens.
I was like, damn, Flint, that's fucked up, dog. And then I don't want to talk about it because I already told the story in the podcast like 2, 3 times. Flint, I tell you, boy, boy,
Yeah, that happens.
still, but yeah, nah. Shout out to Flint, man. So let me hold on, I got you. All right, so
Do
what?
do
Oh yeah, I
do
gotta
do.
ask this question. There's this thing that Detroiters do at parties. Not one party that I've gone to did
Ooh,
this not happen. And
ooh,
when this happens, I gotta sit my black ass the fuck down.
ooh.
They call it hustling. So my
Yeah.
question I have for you is, do you know how to hustle?
Yes, I know too.
Fucking hate you. No, I'm
I know too. I don't know the Tamiya. No, I actually know three. So I know the flex, the ballroom, and then the regular Detroit style one.
fuck. This nigga be
I'm gonna be
hustling.
honest with you. Let me just be real honest.
Can't do it.
I was once you.
I suck.
I was once you. I see everybody get up and do the hustle, and I would just have to sit down. It was in college, but
I thought I was
however,
black till I
the
moved to Detroit.
more, the more I watched them do it, I would go home and practice. And sometimes my friends that knew how to do it, I would hang with them and they would teach me. They taught. I remember one time we was all hanging out at one of my friends' house, and they taught us how to do the hustle, like literally do the two hustles that was everybody did. You know what I'm saying? And I was just so excited. I finally learned how to do it. It took me a minute, but I finally got it. I practice in my room every day. Seriously, I do.
I know a big
Still to
dude.
this day.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
go home and do it tonight.
Oh my god, I know a big dude that's smooth with it, killing the game, and I'm like, I can never. Like I said, I thought I was black till I moved to Detroit. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen when I first saw it, I was like, "Do y'all know each other? It's a family reunion. It's like a flash mob. Like, what's going on?" And I'm like, niggas is just stepping in unison and shit, but the bitches are like, and then I see the niggas getting on the hose,
That's the
dancing and shit, and
purpose
I
of
was
it.
just like, wow.
That's the
Like I'm
purpose
just
of it.
like,
For us to be in unity and sync with each other.
I was just literally
Yeah.
jealous and hurt, and I couldn't. And then I heard that there was hustling classes, and I'm like,
Oh
nah.
yes.
And I was like, now y'all hustling me. That's
I'm
what
telling you, dude. I was once you. I actually did my friend's graduation party. He was graduating from Saginaw Valley, and he did his grad party out in Bloomsfield, and his daddy is a hustle instructor, and his whole family knows how to hustle. And I'm just standing there, just watching them at the graduation party, just light it up with on the floor. And his
Just
dad is
busting
doing,
that
and I
shit.
mean, his dad is so good. His dad is adding his own flavor to it. Like everybody is, doing the hustle the regular way. He got his own flavor, and he's still on beat. And I remember as they was hustling, his daddy looking at me, citing the words, but doing different moves and still staying on
Oh
beat.
my
I was just
god.
impressed. So it's just like you got to get the sauce, man.
That's one day. One day I'm probably gonna cry so happy one day when I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Hey man,
I'm doing
like I said, I went home and
it.
practiced the night they
One
taught me
day, dog.
when they taught me the 1-2 step. I went home and I practiced the 1-2 step.
I had this shorty every to this day. Every time I get a shorty, I ask if she's doing a hustle because I low key want her to teach me. And I'd be so dead ass. I had a shorty. She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna teach you this. I'm gonna teach you the basic steps, all right?" And I see how disappointed she was when I was not getting it. But I need to go. I need to go get some. I need to go get some. And it's crazy because I danced salsa for 2 years, and I learned salsa dance. I learned the bachata. I learned a little merengue back
The
in the day.
bachata.
You know what I mean? No cat. I used to love Spanish women. That's why I was like, or Spanish woman, like nigga. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna bachata. Baila conmigo, mi amor. You know what I mean? We can do this. You know what I mean?
I
But
only speak slang.
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But like, it's crazy because, like I said, I could not do it, dog. About one day. You know what I'm saying?
One
So,
day.
who did you look up to now, and maybe as a kid as like a role model? Like, who was some of the people that like you drew inspiration from?
So it would have to be what I watched on TV. It would have to be Will Smith. Will Smith.
Fresh Prince,
Yes. That's how I knew him as the Fresh Prince. Um,
Tan Superman.
and then I would have to go with Eddie Murphy.
Hmm.
Spike Lee. Just all the what I grew up watching, is just Walt Disney has a place in my heart because that, I found out that he was declined several times for Mickey Mouse, and yet Mickey Mouse is a $1 trillion merchandise mouse that we ain't never is not even real. Like I'm not sure if they paid them in cheese or in cash,
Oh.
you know. and and that just inspired me to chase after my dreams. um I always tell people when it comes to people who you really like or you're a fan of, always learn their story.
Yeah.
um Talking about Eddie Murphy got declined several times from SNL before he became a cast member,
Mm,
a featured cast member at that.
mm.
And that man came in when they gave him a chance. That man walked in them doors, and what I mean to tell you, he gave SNL. He saved SNL because it was dying out in the '80s. It was one of them shows that was like knocking at the door of you about to be done,
Yeah.
and yet Eddie comes along in I believe it was 1980, and just took it to a whole nother level and made it fun and brought people back to it. So that inspired me to keep going, even when people tell you no. You get up and you keep going, and you
Absolutely.
get there. It's faith. That's what helps me get through. I've been I've been robbed from my camera twice, and I still keep going.
So what could you as a person who also has cameras who's worried about it? What advice could you get? Like what happened there? Like what lessons did you learn in that? Like why? Like it
So,
pisses me off so much.
so I would say this: the first time it was my fault. I would give that. I would take credit for
It
it.
was not your fault,
When
but
that was my
how?
first time. Well, I felt like I could have been way more responsible. My first time having my camera taken from me when I was in college. I would take full responsibility on that one. I'm guilty of charge. This time I felt like I was not guilty of charge. I'm going to tell you why. Um, so what happened with me the second time my camera got stole is, I was taking pictures at my birthday party that I was having at Bosco, and Cash Doll came. Cash Doll, Stewie was hosting, Stewie East Bizzle, and who else was there? Jasmine Renee. And my best friend G Wildlife, who made this outfit, he was there. All those guys was there. We was having a great time. We was taking pictures. I was taking pictures at the event at my birthday party that I was having, and my boy PJ was having his birthday party too. So
Mm.
after we left, we decided to go to after hours. Cause I'm like, all right, I've been working all day. I worked on my birthday. I went to work at 9 to 5, and then I did a photo gig
Yeah.
after that. And it's time for me to enjoy me. You know what I'm saying? So we went to the after hours at Desmond's. So me and G, we always go out and party, and I left my camera in the car and nothing never happened. And we goes in Desmond, had a great time, ran into some of my other friends that was there, ran into some of the actors there. My boy Cheese was there, him and his cousin. My homegirl Unique was there, her and the whole crew.
Mm-hmm.
We at Desmond's party, and then it was time to go. And as we leaving out, my boy G was talking to the shorty, and I'm hopping in the car, and he got in the car, and I noticed when he was talking to the shorty, some wind was blowing in the back of my head. I'm like, fuck, like my window was up, his window was down. So something told me to turn around. I turned around and said, yo, did you leave your window down? And he turned around, he was like, dang, somebody broke into my car. I'm like, what? So we both hop out the car. We open up the door from both sides of the vehicle, and I'm like, I don't see his bag. I don't see my bag. And I'm like,
Somebody, but the back window was broken?
the rear driver's side's back door, a back window was broken into. But here's the funny part that blew me is that there was no shattered glass. It's like they took the glass off and threw the window to the side. They took the window off and threw it to the side. Like his window wasn't even shattered. It was just broke down into, chopped down into big
what?
pieces.
Like almost like they took the door panel off or something?
It's like, I believe it's some
How
type
the
of
fuck-
tool they put on the window.
Like
and
to cut it out or something and pulled it out?
It's like they pulled it out.
Oh.
I don't know. It's some type of tool they got. It's a dude. I was talking to somebody at the laundry. I was on the phone talking to one of my friends about what happened that night. And the guy at the laundromat overheard the conversation, was like, oh, it's this thing that they use to take out the window without having to shatter it. Yeah, because when you shatter, you can hear
noise.
Noise. That you can't hear nothing.
This what y'all little bum ass niggas is figuring out instead of figuring out how to make a business, like how to break in. This what you using your intellect for? I hate y'all. This what y'all evil diabolical
Beware, if
niggas
you
is
drive a
figuring out.
Durango, beware.
Oh my God,
Yes,
I hate y'all with a passion, bro.
And that's what's so crazy, because I'm like, gee, where's your window? Because I don't see no shattered glass, and his window was to the side of the vehicle in the back. I'm like, wow, they just.
So when you got in, it could almost look like the window was down, but it's not. It was just removed.
It would look, yeah.
It wasn't shattered. It was just removed. Y'all niggas need to get a job or go do some oceans. Go to a bank. Why y'all some bitch? I hate. I'm gonna leave y'all alone for y'all can bother me. But I hate y'all so much. God damn, dog. Oh man, I hate y'all so much, man. Like I had a dude one time. He asked me if he could borrow my drone. I didn't let him borrow it, but he actually asked, "What you want it for?" He said, rich people, they be like leaving the door in their garage when it's attached to their house open to the inside of their house, and they got like a little keypad, a code that they put in to open up their garage door. And if you could get that code, then you could open up their garage door. You could basically probably just walk in their house. And it'd be hard to get that code. But if I had a drone, I could hover and zoom in and see the code that they typing in, then I could get the code to get into their garage. And I'm like, this what you want my drone? No. Like, first of all, you are a diabolical motherfucker. Like,
they're thinking.
There's some shit I never would have thought of.
These robbers are thinking.
Yeah, they're using it. They're not. It's like.
It's not like how he is in Dead Presidents. They're thinking. They have a master plan.
It's like,
Trust
dog,
me.
they try to use.
You gotta think about it. So let me be
God
real with you.
damn.
So you gotta think about it. A guy can literally come up with a strategic plan to take your girl from you. If he could come up with a plan to take your girl from you, he can come up with a plan to steal anything from you. Cause he comes up with a strategy.
Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
and it's so crazy because I actually watched a dude steal another dude girl. Like it was crazy. Well, he ain't well, yeah, if he hit her, he stole her. So hey,
Yeah,
yeah, it is what it is.
yeah.
And it's so crazy. It
Stole
was
that
like,
pussy. Is what he stole.
yeah, what's so crazy is like he did it strategically. He knew that that guy wasn't a good guy to her. So what he did was the loophole that he hopped through was her emotions. And he came off as a better guy that can treat her better than he can. And that's how he got her. And it's so crazy because number one, it takes a strategy, a plan. If you look at Elon Musk and how he's taking over, like he's about to become the world's first trillionaire in the next few years,
Yeah.
he had a
Okay, yeah.
plan. He's like, look at the
Mhm.
Cybertruck. The Cybertruck is a vehicle that does not look like other vehicles.
Yeah.
Everybody vehicles look alike, just got a different stamp on there. Like a Toyota truck look like a Chevy truck, but
Yeah.
it's just Toyota.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like the
saying?
like the f- the silhouette look exactly the same until they drive up on you and you see the emblem. You're like, oh, it's a Ford, not a Chevy, or it's a Toyota,
Same
not
thing.
a
Silverado and the F-150. Perfect
exactly.
example.
Yep.
Look at there. You know, it's just
That same shape, that same.
you
When,
just gotta have a plan to, to stand out. And Elon Musk noticed it was like, I'm gonna make a truck that looks completely different. If you look at a Tesla car, nothing looks like a Tesla car, but a Tesla car.
yeah, I mean for real, it's like it's hard to match up with stuff like that. Like Elon just creates industries and shit. Like I like how he it's like he problem solves to make it happen. He doesn't like it's like he wanted people to drive electric cars. He's like, I want people to drive electric cars. I'm gonna drive more often. And someone was like, that's not gonna happen. And then he was like, why? And they were like, oh, because gas cars got mad gas stations, and like electric cars don't like have like electrical stations all over the place.
Yeah.
And then Elon was like, oh, okay. So I'll build electrical gas stations then. I'll be he's like, oh, and he did. He built like a network of fucking electrical gas stations that built the whole port. And they're like, okay, now what's the problem?
Do
Like,
you, do you know the fall of Blockbuster? Do you know the fall of Blockbuster?
yeah, a little bit of it, yeah, because they have resistance to change.
Yes. So what Netflix is today is what was offered to Blockbuster. But what's so funny is Blockbuster didn't see the future.
Yeah,
Elon Musk saw the future.
yeah,
He's like, okay, well, you got that right. We got gas stations to keep y'all with gas. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. Not only I'm going to build electric cars, I'm going to make sure they have charging stations
exactly.
for the
And
electric
he
cars.
spread it across
He
the
spread
country.
it across the
And you know
country.
what else he did too? Know what else he did? Because he low key. That's why when they make he low key got the electric car industry by the balls a little bit.
And you can use it at your house.
Because let me tell you what else he did with that touch. After he built the fucking framework for it, he said, "Guess what, car companies? The port of the charging station, like the port, like you know how they like Apple got like a lightning port that no other company
Yeah.
can use. Tesla could have did that. Tesla could have made like a lightning port version of a charging port and said, "Hey, guess what? This network I used, only Tesla cars can use it."
Yeah.
But instead, he said, "Guess what? I'm gonna let the whole car industry have access
Think outside the box.
to my port," because he wanted to, instead of him being selfish, he wanted to grow the entire electric car
Yes,
industry.
that's
He
the
said, "I'm gonna
key.
build the network and then let everyone use it so that it increases the overall market instead of just increasing us." So it's like that's hard to beat, dog. And the same thing when and that's why he's gonna be the first trillionaire. Because like when you look at the deal, why he gonna do that is because he made a deal with Tesla. He was like, yo, I was like, all right, look, yo, y'all worth like $31 billion. He said, I'm gonna make y'all $1 trillion company. He said, don't pay me nothing. But if I do make y'all $1 trillion company in X amount of years, y'all do have to pay me a certain amount. Because I make food. Like he said, okay. They was like, all right, do it. If you could do that. If you could make us a 31 billion to 1 trillion, okay, we'll pay you. And then he fucking did it. Tesla said with it. And now they want to do it again. Now they're like, all right, we're a $1 trillion company. And they're about to run the deal back right now. And they're like, all right, make us an $8 trillion company. And Tesla's and Elon's like, I could do that. I could take you from a $1 trillion company to an $8 trillion company. And if he does that, now do you know Elon's plan to make Tesla an $8 trillion company from a $1 trillion company? Tesla bots. Elon said it in an interview. He's like, look, personal robots is gonna be a multi-trillion-dollar industry. The only reason why it's not yet is because there are no personal robots to buy that are useful enough, that are worth buying to make it happen. So the same way how they told him, why can't electric cars happen? Because there's not a network of the. So why can't personal robots happen? Because there's not a. Oh, okay. So I'll just make a robot that's useful enough the Tesla bot. He made the one, two, three. It's still not available for people. Like if you wanted to buy one, you still can't buy a Tesla bot right now. But it's because he's still working on it. But
Yeah, and it's about just having like a accessible platform. Like you know how he. So I'm gonna tell you this.
he trying to make iRobot. Nigga said he want to print 1 billion robots. But go ahead.
The TV cannot stand without the TV stand. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And it's just about have like the legs on the table, the top of the table can't stand without the legs. If you got a strong platform, you yourself can have a strong foundation. You
Yeah.
have a platform. You know what I'm saying? You gotta
Yeah.
have something for it.
So let me ask you, because there's a lot of ways to go about it. I have to talk about because it's a part of. So I want to know, as a photographer, videographer, as a future film creator, what is your reaction and opinion of AI? Because in my opinion, when I first started this, I wasn't thinking about AI, and my first competition in my mind was this.
Yeah.
My first competition is my mind is like, I have to be better than the phone that's in their pocket. Every year, these phones get fucking better at photography and videography. And every year, you have to question your setup and go to a degree like, yeah, but how much better is it than their phone? And now I'm looking at AI like, okay, now I got two top competitors. I got the phone plus AI now to think about. You know what I mean? So looking at AI is coming for fucking every job, bro. But for real though, what is your reaction to AI? Like, how do you feel about it?
So honestly, I feel like I can benefit from it in certain ways. However, like for example, I need a theme song for my talk show. I talked to some people, they gave me some prices, and I someone said, "Why don't you try AI?" And I'm like, "AI."
Suno.
And so my friend, he typed in. We was in the car. We was in I believe a Uber, and we was on our way to the club. And he typed in the description of my, my podcast, tacos and talks with Will. And I mean to tell you, the AI made a dope commercial. And I was just so amazed. And I said, I love it. And it's like I said, it's beneficial. That was dope promotion. And then, so, like I said, I needed the theme song. So I decided to try AI for myself. And I remember just being up all night. I went through about 12 songs and I finally found my song and I fell in love with it. And it cost me nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. Not a subscription. Nothing. Not a subscription price. Nothing. Nothing at all. And I got it used.
And you got to manifest your
Yes,
vision.
I got to manifest my vision, and I was just so excited. Just couldn't stop. Like I was in the middle of the night. I was up to about 5 a.m. I promise you, God is my witness. I was literally praying to Him, like, Lord, I need a theme song. I want to get started. Because my original goal was
When's
to
your birthday?
December 3rd. I was saying because my plan was to originally have a release teaser trailer by January, which I accomplished my goal, even with my situation, because I had a theme song. and I was like, oh, it's perfect.
Mm,
And the theme song really matches my talk show. It
mm,
even says like it describes me perfectly. So I believe AI can be beneficial. However, like the person who created AI is that we need to be careful where not to go too far. It's okay to go swimming in the ocean. Just don't dive in too deep where we can't pull you back up.
mm,
That's my warning to the AI situation.
mm.
We seen to all the Terminators. Let's not make that happen.
Yeah, I feel you on that. So, my opinion on it, the way it's going, is that the current economy is a skills economy, right? It says you human go to college, learn whatever skill, and based on what skill you learn, you get paid. You learn the coding skill, you get paid on that. You learn the doctor skill, you get paid on that. You learn an accounting skill, you get paid on that. You learn business administration, whatever, or logistics, whatever, you get paid on that skill. AI is taking the skills, as in like video editor or like coder, like looking at it's taking a lot of the skills. So it's to me it's changing from a skill economy to a creative economy, where it's like, cause like if I want to make a movie about like Game of Thrones, me and drag, now it's like I can't make CGI dragons. I can't make social effects. I can't make myself a superhero. I can't like whatever vision I have as a filmmaker, it's like, all right, now what camera you gonna film it? What drone you gonna film it with? What special effects you gonna film it with? How are you gonna actually? So there's a lot of skills and equipment in between my vision and it manifesting. You know what I'm saying? Or like an idea for a video game. I want to make a video game that's like GTA but placed in Brooklyn, damn near 1 to 1, and I have a couple of ideas of how I want to. But like me making a video game is like, well, do you know how to code a video game? Do you know how to do graphic design? You might have a great idea for it, but you don't have the skills to manifest that vision. Well, what if AI says, listen, tell me your vision? The skills that are in between your vision and it manifesting, I'll handle the skills part and I'll make what you want. Like they said that someone made the Facebook Messenger app with a prompt. Like someone had a coding AI and said, "Make me an online messenger app that allows video messaging and text messaging and blah 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 blah." And code that up for me. And then the AI said, okay, I get what app you want. I understand the functionality that you want. I'm going to go code it. And here's a functional version of that app. So instead of you thinking, I can't make a website, I can't make an app because I don't know how to code, even though you have a great idea for an app, then the AI comes up, oh, no, fuck all that. The skill part that you thought was in the way of your creativity. So people that have ideas that you're creative, I'm a creative, we create stuff. People that are creators, I think this will empower us because then it's a limit of your imagination. Because like the Sora app, I've given to people and I'm like, you could create anything. Like I got me in Sparta, I got me as a super, I got me. You can create. It's just about what can you imagine yourself do. What can you? I got me learning kung fu. Me like, but what can you imagine though? Now it's a today it's a battle of skills. Like you want to do something, you got to learn the skills to do it. That's the same thing when I'm learning. I got to learn plugins. I got to learn even to get my part 107 lines to get official drone pilot. I got to learn as opposed to now they have a Google Earth thing where you could damn near get drone footage of almost every city. And like it's not the same, but it's like you Google Earth can simulate a drone footage of it, and it's like, damn, still need a drone light. I still need a drone light, but I'm still like AI is making virtual footage so like accessible where it's like that line is getting blurred and it's only gonna get better. And it's like it almost makes me feel like I still want about it. I still want to film in real life, but it's like AI is making it so much easier. But at the same time, it's like you're right. You don't want to get lost in it. Where to the point where you don't know how to work a real camera. Like imagine that. Like you know how to work a real camera. I know how to work a real camera. 3 years from now, there's someone that's gonna make a movie, a full 2 hour movie that don't know how to work a real fucking camera. How does that make me feel, bro? I had to spend money on these cameras. I spent money on the lights, all of this shit. And this motherfucker gonna sit there and movie prompt the whole fucking movie on his cell phone, and it's gonna look fucking good too. It's gonna look good. That's the man. It's gonna look good too. It's gonna look better than shit on Tubi, my nigga. And this nigga don't know nothing about ISO, ain't never adjust the shutter, ain't don't know shit about, ain't never got no shit in focus, ain't never mess with, ain't never done shit on the camera. And he got a 2-hour movie, my nigga, that look good. That look good, starring him. Okay. And he ain't never bought a camera in his life. And I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, it's dope that you came up with that. On the other hand, like, that's fucked up. You used to have to work to have to put that shit together.
So, one thing I learned is we got to learn how to keep certain things going. So, what you talking about AI? It's like, okay, when digital came, digital was the new thing before was the thing after film. You know, there are people who still shoot on film. You know, in the future, okay, yeah, AI may be that new thing. However, I believe personally that people are still going to do film and digital and still have an actual, still shoot it because AI is a program system. However, it doesn't always reach us emotionally.
Yeah.
And that's where it's something that we will always be able to do so well because we're humans. We know emotions. We know what it feels like to get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
So we make a movie about you getting your feelings hurt. We're gonna hit it deeper
We know what to.
and more diver into it because and more engaging because we know how we feel. It's gonna touch us more. You know, Avatar is a wonderful movie. I love it dearly. I love the graphics of it, the creativity of it. However, Avatar does not relate to my life.
Mm-hmm.
If I watch a
You
movie
talk
like
about the blue people, right?
yes, the blue people, yes. They're blue and I'm black. They have
Yeah.
different rights. You know what I'm saying? So they're not it's gonna entertain me. However, I do believe AI is gonna be a lot more entertaining. However, when it comes to engaging us emotionally with movies, AI is not gonna be able to do it for me.
That's the one thing. That's one reason why, like, if people ask me why, which I believe why, we're gonna be successful regardless. Because, like, when I think of the future, I'm like, this is an AI future. This is a robotics future. This is a creative build future. This is a different type of future. I'm young. You're young. We have to live the next 50, 40 years in this economic future. We're not 50 where we're 20 more years and we don't got to worry about it. No, no, no. We have the next 50 fucking years to fight in this evolution, in this
According to
economic.
studies, we might be able to live over 100. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna have to learn.
We're gonna have new medicine by then.
So I think about something that's like, what is what is something that, regardless of human technological advancement, is never going to change? Like, there's some things that are never going to change. Like, humans are going to need a place to live forever. That's never going to change. Humans are going to need food to eat forever. That's never going to change. And humans are going to find media to absorb that they find entertaining. I don't think that is ever going to change. Whether that's a movie, a TV show, a podcast, a reality TV, streaming, what they choose to consume might change. The way that what they are consuming is made might change, as in maybe it's more AI, maybe it's flying drone, maybe it's AI controlling cameras, maybe. Because I was thinking, I was like, I low-key was fantasizing. I had almost a dream. I swear I dreamed about pulling up to a movie set, a set to do a film with me and 4 or 5 Tesla robots. One Tesla robot watched the car. The other one carries the mic. One carries the lighting. I do the camp. And now it's me and now I have a production company with me and 5 Tesla robots, and we could cover a whole scene, a whole thing, and I don't got to pay these guys, but I'm covering it like a whole production company with one person with just Tesla robots. And I was like, that's possible. But what I'm saying is like, I don't think that humans will ever stop consuming movies or ever stop consuming
No,
TV shows.
no.
That I think that making content that, as you said, affects humans emotionally and psychologically will never go out of business. Like humans will always seek out more knowledge or seek out, yeah,
Visualization.
they will always seek that out. Now, the way in which that is created might change, like with AI or different, but that's why I feel like if you're a creative and you can create content that affects humans emotionally, you will be economically stable in the future if you can figure out a way to distribute that content in a way that pays you. Whether it's on YouTube or you make movies for Netflix, or you're a streamer and your stream of consciousness is engaging the people, or you cover recent events and your processing of recent events is entertaining the people or gives people a take that they never really get. Whatever it is, whatever you create for people that they enjoy. But that's why I say creators are going to win in the future, because labor, just doing shit, bro, robots gonna take all of that labor shit, bro. I lift things up, I put them down. Like labor is coming, like robots are coming for you, dog.
Hey, you ever watched Shark Tank?
I did watch some episodes
You
of Shark
remember
Tank.
Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, I believe that's
Kevin
the-
O'Leary, yeah,
Yes.
man.
So he said something on a interview on Instagram that was very interesting. He said, if I had to do it all over again, I used to say engineering was the best degree to get into. But he said, no. He said the best field to get into now is media, photography, videography, graphic design. You could win off that because they got the internet, the NTA. What was the little painting auction called? The NTAs or something? The little
So NFTs.
NFTs. They have the NFTs, the painting things. They have,
Mm-hmm.
social media where people come up with videos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's a new wave now,
Yeah.
and people are benefiting from it. I remember when vlogging first started. At first it wasn't vlogging; it was called the day in the life, and it
Yeah.
mostly was your celebrities. Like I remember watching Soldier Boy Day in the Life, or Kevin Hart the Day in the Life, or Kevin Hart what he did. You know what I'm saying?
There's only one vlog I could say that I was a fan of that I watched
Who?
consistently, and even to this day, sometimes I'll put it on in the background. I gotta give a shout out. Yo, shout out Wiz Khalifa with the Day to Days. Wiz Khalifa came out with Day to Days. He used to have a
I
nigga
feel
filming
it.
around the day. They were called Day to Days because they were like day to day or day to day, like day to day. Like and it was. I used to watch Wiz Khalifa Day to Days all the time,
I
bro.
bet you can't guess my favorite YouTube channel that I used to watch all the time.
Who's Susie? Shout out Susie. Now who?
No, shout. Well, they're not together anymore, but it was DK4L,
Nah.
Ken and Diera, Diera,
Cannon?
Ken. His name. They were a couple, Ken and Diera,
Nah.
and they had like there was like a couple, but they're not together no more. And I'm gonna tell you that really gave me hope. Let me tell you why. I watched them my sister introduced me to them. And I was so interested because this is like the second time when she introduced me something that influenced me to,
Yeah.
to go after. They were like vlogging their daily lives. And what made them so dope, they were kind of like already famous from Instagram because both of them are very
Yeah.
attracting looking people. No Diddy, both of them are both attractive.
Yeah.
Like I'm dead serious. Like they were like famous for that, being attractive on
Mhm.
Instagram. That's why I say that. Ken was loved by the girls, De'Ara loved by the boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so they came up with the YouTube channel, and they had two YouTube channels. They had one where they vlogged their daily lives, and they had another one where they did like Q&A and pranks. It was so interesting just watching them, and I watched them
Q&A
for about
pranks,
like 2 or
yeah.
3 years, and just to see their growth. Like I believe he was like one of the first social media influencers with the Tulsa. They kind of like promoted that, and they were like taking trips around the world, and I just was like, wow, I want to get
Yeah.
into this. It influenced me. Like I have an interest in life, and Imagine people seeing my interest in life and what
Yeah,
it could do.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It could influence someone else like, okay, look at Will. No matter what comes his way,
He
he still keeps going.
uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying?
I
So
respect the
yeah,
perseverance. I
that's why
respect that.
I liked it, their YouTube channel.
I respect
Shout out to
that.
both of them. They're both doing
Shout out
good.
the vlogging game. You know what I mean? One of the reasons, because I was thinking about, I was trying to think about in my head, I was thinking about me doing the street interviews, and I was trying to figure out what made me want to do street interviews. You know what I'm saying? And I can't quite figure it out. I can't quite figure out what made me want to do. Because the thing about, but one thing that made me want to double down on street interviews, I'll tell you, is that I was talking to ChatGPT about it, and it's hard to stand out nowadays because it's just. I was talking about. I was like, if you're a YouTuber, there's millions of YouTubers. If you're a rapper, there's millions of rappers. If you're photographer, there's millions of photographers. There's millions. If you have a podcast, there's millions of podcasts. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, there are not millions of street interviewers. Like, there are not. Like,
No.
I asked ChatGPT literally, like, how many do you think are active, like worldwide? And it was in the low thousands. It was like max like 10,000. It was like 5, because it was like people don't really do that. Like, even if you had to think right now, you could think of a big rapper, you could think of a big podcaster, you could think of a big YouTuber, Mr. Beast. You could think of a.
Yeah.
Could you name a big street interview person?
Nope. I don't know who my daddy is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm saying street interview people is like, who does that? And it's because it's a collection of problems. It's like, number one, you got to be in a city that's just lit enough to have enough foot traffic to even be able to do. Because if you in Arkansas, you ain't doing street interviews in Arkansas, my bro. It's not about to happen. You got to be in a semi-reasonable city. And then also, you have to have, like, I don't know, the ability to talk to people off the rip, random people that you never met before, off the rip. And then you also have to have the balls to bother people. Like, hey, how you doing? When you get on camera for a second, like, there's a combination of things. Like, there's just not a, like, if you just think of Detroit for a second. I looked at Detroit. I was at the NFL draft in Detroit. Like, all the events I did in 2025, whatever. You know how many people I saw doing what I'm doing? Like, when I was at the African World Fest, whatever. How many other people did I see there interviewing people?
When we was at the block party, I just know it was just you.
Like, fucking nobody.
I just noticed it was you.
That's what I'm
You.
saying. Like, who else is interviewing? Like no one else is doing.
No one else.
If I was in New York, if I was in Times Square, there'd be 5 of me. You know what I mean? If I was in LA, there'd be 10 of me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in Detroit and there's one of me.
One.
Like, there's one. When I was in the NFL draft, bro, that was the biggest event. Literally, Detroit broke the record for
Yes.
that was one of my first events doing street interviews. I saw 2 news people, like Fox News and like another news. I didn't see, and mind you, there was
They're
hundreds
news, though.
of thousands of people. There was not one other person I saw with a camera, with a mic, that was interviewing the people. Like, Detroit is massively underserved. Like, for some reason, I don't know. I don't want to talk about it that much because I know it's political, and I try not to get too political. You know what I'm saying? But when I was seeing the No Kings protest happening,
He's a Democrat.
nah. Truth is, I'm really a Republican. but when I seen the No Kings protests and stuff happening, the anti-ICE stuff happening, it's like I almost didn't believe it, and I saw some of them happening in Detroit, and I was like, how come I always see this stuff on social media? And I even went to find a website. Like, just know, if I ever knew that a No Kings protest was happening in Detroit, somewhere I could drive to, and I knew that even the day of, I would have called out of work that day, charged up my Osmo Pocket 3, and I'd have been out there to figure out, why are y'all what's going on? Because I almost don't believe, but because when they protested in LA, I saw people doing that in LA. When they protested in Detroit, I didn't see one, but that's what I'm saying. It's same how there was no one at the NFL draft, no one that there's no one that's going to show up to a protest in Detroit happening as an independent person. Like, Who are these people? What are you mad about? Can we ask one of these people? What is actually happening here? Is this real, or is this AI on TV, or these paid protesters? What is really happening? Because all the coverage of it is some media, like Fox or but like there's no on the ground. Because sometimes when I listen, I talk to white people, I talk to black people. Like rarely do I like they might say no to getting on camera, but rarely are people like super mean to me or like I feel like there's like an entity that's like stoking up this civil war, or like they want there to be like division amongst the people. But whenever I go out to talk to the people are not as angry and like evil or vitriol as media makes it seem like we one thing from a civil war. If you just watch these some they fear monger and they'd be like, do the people really feel that way?
The M in media stands for manipulation.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
That's
so I'll be like, when y'all trying to make it seem like it's the worst thing ever, or everyone pro, I'll be like, are they real? What are they really mad about? Let me go talk to these people. Let me go
that's the
talk to
thing.
these people. I want to go know what's up.
That's the power behind media's perception. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I remember I brought G with me to a toy drive celebrity basketball game last year. And I did a recap video of it. And I sent it to, I showed G and he loved it. And he was like, "Well, your video made the event way more than what it was."
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was like, "What you mean?" He said, "That you made that event seem like it was just this 5-star event. It was just a lot of people coming through from the neighborhood that pulled up. You made it seem like it was like on some NBA celebrity basketball, you know what I'm saying?" And that's the thing about me. That's what we can win at. That's what we create.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's good. That's good. And for me as a videographer, however, when it comes to like the negatives of it, you'll have people. Like I'm not a big fan of the relationship goals on social media because that's manipulation. You got people seeing that. All right, these two couples together and they got Louis Vuitton on, and the baby carriage is Louis Vuitton, and she looks young and he look young, and they look like they established, and that's all Photoshop. And and he got people believing like that. If I find me a man and that's what it's gonna be. No, it's not. That's not what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? There's some hard work behind that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And you're probably not gonna be as young as you think you are. You know what I'm saying? I thought when I turned 25, I was gonna be that guy. I was gonna be that all-star player. I wasn't until I was 27 years old when I just got into the industry and I was at the bottom of the barrel. I'm 30 and I'm haven't made my millions that I wanted to make. You know what I'm saying? So,
but it's a long road. Let me ask you this question, and I mean this as a compliment because I like how your brain works. I found it very entertaining and funny. Let me ask you if anyone has ever told you this before. Has anyone ever told you that you give slight Kanye vibes?
yes. Yes.
Your communication style, I find it very entertaining. I like it.
My cousin told me at my mother's wedding, he said, "Bro, you remind me of Kanye West so much of what you do." And I took it as a compliment because Kanye West's artistry is
you cannot disrespect his artistry.
Brilliant.
Beyond reproach.
Brilliant artistry. And I was like, growing up in the area when he was like winning every Grammy, every music award, he was always in the music videos. He was
speaking of music
brilliant.
Can I say one thing, especially as a photographer, videographer? To this day, bro, you want to see an immaculate video? You want to see go watch that 34-minute My Twisted Dark Fantasy music video from Kanye. Go watch that 34-minute My Twisted Dark Fantasy. That to this day has my favorite ballerina sequence in a video I've ever seen. Those ballerinas that he had on the runway video, like the colors of it, I still remember the shot of this white spotted deer that he had in the scene, like
Oh
the
wow.
or even the footage of like the phoenix that he had, the girl that flew
He
down.
had Magnificent in his video.
I'm telling you, bro, you go watch because My Twisted Dark Fantasy is one of his best albums to me, and the video, I'm telling you, it's a 34-minute video.
34 minute. You might
You
fall
already know.
asleep
You already know.
after the first 15-minute
No
video.
rapper put out a 34-minute music
You might
video.
fall asleep. You
Who
can
would put
watch
out a
it.
34-minute? Kanye.
You can
Kanye would put out a 34-minute
you
music
can
video.
watch the first 30 minutes on your lunch break and catch the last 4 at the work.
I'm telling you, it's crazy. Gives me his videos, yeah, absolutely. Look. I totally agree. Listen, we're gonna take a short break right here, and be right back. Give us like 5-10 minutes. We'll be right back with you, y'all. Coming back at you. All right, we back, y'all. We back, y'all, in full effect. Y'all already know, man. We ain't even do y'all too dirty, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes we take a piss break. Sometimes we take a smoke break. Right in the middle of the pod, take a smoke break on y'all niggas, you know what I'm saying? But we ain't do all that, you know what I'm saying? We just went and got back to business, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So I'm going to switch it up a little bit. You know what I mean? I had a couple more questions, you know what I'm saying? About the industry before I got into y'all ladies, y'all problematic nature, you know what I'm saying? But what sector, like I feel like of absorbing your some of your posting on social media, I feel like you're more in the how could I put it, like more the nightlife type, or like
Yeah,
event, yeah, that's what it is,
yeah,
event,
event.
like more event photography, videography type, the more event oriented. How would you describe it, and how was that sector of the business been treating the nightlife, dealing with promoters, dealing with clubs, dealing with drunk people, dealing with low light situations? Like, what is the what it, who would pay you in that situation? Is it the promoter, the club, the individual photos? Because I've seen somebody one time in the club floods one time, and they were taking photos of people in sections, and they were trying to charge. They had some printer that like was something. It was almost like they had like Polaroid, but like not Polaroid. I don't know. They could print up the photo in the moment and then charge the people at the table for the photo, and it was just crazy. I don't know. So like, how does that scenario? What's the levels in that area there?
So, to be honest with you, what happens is, you have to have permission to be in somebody's club to be taking pictures,
Mm-hmm.
or at that event taking pictures. You gotta have somebody permission, unless it's like a something open for the public and they don't care. But I do a lot of private events, like invite only. Like if you're not on that guest list, or you won't have proof of a proof, like an email that says that barcode, they have the barcode, you can't get in. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
me, I've been blessed, whereas I'm cool with a lot of promoters and they hire me for their events, whether it's the nightlife or some of them have their own podcast or their other events. They hire me, and especially when it comes to like those nightlife events, like at the clubs, they say, hey, if you got a printer, you want to take pictures and sell them, hey, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's all you. Um, we're not gonna take anything out of it, but we're still gonna pay you for, coming out
Yeah.
and taking pictures. You know what I'm saying? Like, which is always good connects. And that's my big part of it, is the networking. You know what I'm saying? The networking. Long as it leads somewhere. Next, where the question is, where does this lead to after we do this? Where does it
Yeah.
lead to? Is it the something better? Like, for example, I work with Stu. Stewie is my guy. That's my dude. I respect Stewie. Shout out to Vice team.
Mm.
Stewie has helped me a lot. When it's networking, I take pictures for Stewie, and I sell pictures at the events or the nightclub that he work at, and I keep all profit, and Stewie makes sure he connects me with people. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? My boy Just Blaze and Marty from Priva, them guys take care of me. They look out for me. They let me come to their spots and get connected with people. You know what I'm
Let me
saying?
ask you, what's your experience with have you ever, and what's your has been your experience with working for free?
So my experience, it's been a slopey. I'm gonna be honest with you. When you work for free, do it in the do it in the way of having an open heart and not expecting anything in return. That be the problem. We go shoot for free and then we expect something in return. I got a question. Do you go out into the garden without planting the seed and expecting the harvest?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, all right, well, don't expect anything. Okay, come with the open heart. Look at it as you being a good Samaritan. Um,
I feel you on that.
and one thing I learned, because when I first started taking pictures because I started at Ferris. I started in church, and I did it at Ferris. Um, they wouldn't pay me at first,
Mm-hmm.
but I still did it,
Mm-hmm.
and what it did for me, it helped me advance my craft, and it also exposed me. And I'm not saying that's gonna pay the bills or that's gonna get you to
Ah,
the
but it's
next level.
important.
It's not all. It's not all. I'm not gonna lie to you. It didn't help me pay my bills.
Mm-mm.
But however, I learned how to when it comes to that, if God wanted me to do it, I did it. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? If he said I need you to do it for me, not for them, I did it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
I know that, whatever I do for him, he'll do for me even 10 times even more.
Mm-hmm.
Because he only asks for 10% of us. So I don't like I said, it's different with me because like I said, I kind of like I trust God. If God want me to do it, he'll make a way for me to do it. You know what I'm saying? If he didn't want me to do it, he'll make a way for me not to do it.
I feel
He'll
you on
make
that.
sure like, all right, they're not gonna pick you up and you have no money for a lift. So this is not meant for you to do. This is not meant this is
Mm-hmm.
not what I want for you. I'm blocking everything out of it. Your bank account and a ride. So no. However, if he wanted me to do it, he always make a way. He always make a way.
I
He
feel
never
you on
fails
that.
me. So, you know what I'm saying? Like it's if it's meant to be, it's meant to be.
You're right
And
about
I
that.
learned from a wise photographer. It's nobody business that you shoot for free. That's your business. That's your business. If that's what you want to do, I know a lot of photographers that do stuff for free. I'm not saying they always do it, but
Mm-hmm.
they do. Some of them do it. I know one photographer. He do it. He do like community games for free.
Mm.
A lot of Ferris people that be out at Ferris State University or college universities, sometimes they don't be getting paid, but they do it because the thing about photography, it's a great hobby. It's just not a career. It's a passion. And a
Yeah.
passion is something that you could do for free. Like if you're an artist, okay, you may sell
Mm.
your paintings, but you may just sit in your room and paint for free.
That's what I don't understand. That's what I try to explain. Cause yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is an art. People, photographers and videographers are artists. They enjoy doing what they do. They enjoy photo. They would. That's why they do it. They were doing it themselves for free. They do it. They go downtown, take some pictures for wife for free. Cause I enjoy capturing shit. I enjoy. It's fun.
Charlie, can I tell you something? This is so crazy.
Yeah.
I was so excited when I got my first camera, like profess my Canon
Mm-hmm.
SL1 and my flash. I was so excited. The thing about me is when I got it the week of my mentor's birthday party and my church, I believe 80th church anniversary or 81st, one of the two. I can't really remember. However, I was so excited. I'm like, oh man, this is dope. I get to document this stuff and we'll have someone look back on it. And I did it for just the love of the game.
For the
Not
love of the game.
yeah, not for the rule of all evil, but for the love of the game. And I said, I'm gonna do it. When I got to Ferris, I never thought I was gonna be a photographer on that campus. I said I would have my camera with me just in case I could take pictures if we go on a field trip or something, or
Mm-hmm.
I took pictures at orientation and stuff like that. Which was cool and stuff like that. However, if you would have told me I was going to be the campus photographer, I probably would have looked at you crazy because that was not expected. That happened so
Mm.
unexpected. I kid you not, Charlie. They was having a party called the Icebreakers, a frat party at Ferris State University, and at first I said I wasn't gonna go, but then my friend Jasmine Davis, she had said, "Will, what you got to do?" And I was like, "Nothing." And I pretty much answered my own question. And I remember getting off work because I worked at the board at this little store next to the Rock. And when I got off work, I went into my dorm because I was a freshman. No one was in the dorm. Everybody was at the pregame or working their way to the party.
Mm.
I gets to the party, which was at the rink arena. And I mean, I saw that's what everybody was at. They was in the rubber room in the rink arena. And all you hear is music. I walked in and I don't even remember paying it to get in. I may have not. I can't really remember. I walked in and I had my camera with me and I'm just like, I'm gonna just take pictures to see, just to document my
Mm-hmm.
life at college. And I mean to tell you from that night when I went out and brought my camera to Icebreaker, the rest was history. And
Mm.
I became the campus photographer. I mean, I was at least at a good 85 or 90% events. And I started with the Black Greek Council and YBBW and Black Leaders Aspiring for Critical Knowledge in the Office of Multicultural Student Services. I started with doing their events because that was the Black community, that was the
Mm,
student of color community. And I began to expand to the Latino community. I
mm,
began to expand into the different international office community. I began to expand around the campus of First State. I remember the football team. Um, a guy named Sid McLeod. We was at a party, a kickback, and he asked me to, "Hey, bro, can I pay you $10 to come take pictures of me at practice?" And I was like, "Sure," because that was a lot of money back then. You know,
yeah,
in college we broke.
yeah.
$10, any dollar is a lot.
Was a lot.
Any
Yeah,
dollar is a lot.
that's worth it.
So
I'll do that.
I got on the field and started taking pictures for the football team. I felt like we developed a. I think that was like the first group I developed that trust and deep relationship with. Whereas I didn't feel like I was being used. I
One of the,
felt like I was on my purpose.
one of the things you said in the street interview that stuck with me, um, that I remember watching the back. You said, "Experience is experience."
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
I remember you saying that, and I was like, "That's important because you don't try, then you don't do shit, then you don't learn." Like the workshop I had with homie, whatever. I worked the first 6 months for free, like every other Monday, showing up for an hour and a half, filming and doing photos, and trying to produce the clips from the videos and producing the photos for him. And after 6 months, I started getting paid a little bit. I've been doing it for like a year now. This is like the next year. This would be like, if I could do it for the next 6 months, it would be like 2 years now. But what it shows, what was more valuable to me than the money I was getting up front is like, look, I could prove that for a year straight, I could show up in a professional capacity as a photographer and videographer for this event and produce things of that event in a professional capacity. It was more important to me to have proof that I had done that, that I can do that, that if you hire me as a photographer, I can and will show up and will produce. So that was value. And also, I worked for 6 months with him for free. Yeah, okay. The workshop he was doing, the building he was doing a workshop in, they I worked for an event for them for free for 8 hours. That was a long day. That was like the most I ever worked for free. It was crazy. I made like $0. No, not like no $0 that day, dog. And using all my cameras, just running around. I mean, and I produced the thing, whatever. Um, like a year after that, I did something for them when they finally paid me $300. And then the one I showed you that was $400. That was another nonprofit that was at the event that they paid, that the original one paid me $300 for.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Networking. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, but you see, if I'd have never worked for 6 months for free,
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
never worked, even after it stopped
Yep.
being free, it was still a little bit of money, but it was still
Mm-hmm.
at least not free. And then didn't do that first 8 hour event for them for free to produce, to show them, look what I could do. And then the whole time be investing, trying to buy. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, look, so y'all see what I could do. Y'all see I'll show up. Y'all
Yep.
see I will get the work. Because it's like, at the end of the day, like you said, experience is experience.
Uh-huh.
And if I'm sitting here telling people, yo, how am I gonna get away over this? This one mine?
That's
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 my bad. How I get away over there? Anyway, look. So if I'm sitting there telling people I'm a professional videographer, but you have no proof of being able to show up in a professional capacity and execute.
you have
And
no
then
proof in the
you
pudding.
have no proof. You have no proof. That's what I'm saying. So like, even with that bowling video I did, at the end of the day, that was a 2 hour event and change. And it's like, yo, here's the assignment. It's a 2 hour event. You have to get photos, videos, drone footage of the venue, and interviews of the fathers of the venue. 4 things you got to do. You got 2 hours to do it. It's just you. Bust it. Go get it done. Go bust it. Go get it done.
And it's crazy that
You
you
know
say
what I'm
it
saying?
because at first no one at Ferris paid me. And then they would, I will have offices book me and they would
Mhm.
pay me. Um, I remember when I did the protests when we did the peaceful march for George Floyd
Mm.
at Ferris. I took pictures there. I was the person that led the march. I was his photographer, and like I want to say about a year and a half later, someone contact me. It was like, "Hey, we got some money from a grant from Washington D.C. We're building a new museum, and we want to use your pictures. We're gonna pay you for it." And they threw me $2,000, and I
Wow.
was able to buy me a new camera and a new lens.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big jump for me because, like I said, I wasn't able to do it at first, and I was able to get the camera that I want and the lens that I wanted. You know what I'm
Cause the
saying? And
camera lens is so expensive. I love
yeah,
that. I
and the
love
fact
that.
that they helped me out, like I say, it pays off. Hard work pays off, and
It
you
does.
see it. The Bible says, "Whatsoever man soweth, that shall he reap." That's
Mm-hmm.
Galatians, in the book of Galatians, chapter 6. And you just gotta, sow into something like for your dreams. The best investment is you. The
I
best
agree.
bet is you.
I
You
agree.
betting on the Lions, you losing. You
So
you
let me.
calling your bank talking about it's a false transaction. No, you betted on the wrong person. You didn't bet on you.
You was talking about a point earlier that you made that made me want to bring it up, and then I stopped. And then I wanna, you was talking about oh, you was talking about doing it for the love of the game,
Yes.
and I wanted to bring that up into when it comes to podcasting to give you like I'm very encouraging with podcasting, but at the same time, I don't want to lie to you about what you're up against. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I want to encourage you to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? But look, but listen to this. Look, listen to this. So there's a phenomenon called there's a phenomenon called pod fade, right? That I want you to watch out for. You know what I'm saying? Pod fade. Hang on, right? Oh no, did I knock it over? I suck. I'm bad at this. This one's mine, or that one's this one's mine.
That one's yours.
Okay, all right, my bad. Yeah, nah, man, because this podcasting thing, man. But the reason why I'm not with it, I like your energy, man, because you seem like the type that's stubborn enough, that's just stubborn enough to see it through, which is what's necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a cold-hearted bastard. I know.
That's
Just
that's
say
that's good. That's good. No,
it.
but that's necessary. A lot of that's necessary,
Well,
though.
I am a bastard child. My parents not married, and I'm cold-hearted because I'm petty.
But look though, right? Look though, right? So, listen. So pod fade, right? The odds of a new podcast reaching 50 episodes are low, right? So it says episode 8, approximately 45 to 48% make it to episode 8. Episode 50, only 8.5 to 12.6. What it saying? Episode 100, less than 5%. It's not saying your podcast is not going to take off. It says the odds of you even making just 50 episodes is saying that there's a 82 or 86% because a 12% chance that you will make 50 episodes, but the opposite of that is like a 88% chance that you won't make 50 episodes. You know what I mean? So I'm just telling you why is because my if I had it like if I like I want like black people are unrepresented in the podcast space, bro. And the thing is, there's a lot to fight, and I want black voices to make, especially eloquent and sophisticated ones like yours. That's not the most hood. Like you are a part of the black mindset that I would want to make it to proliferation on the internet, not like the most hoodest, lowest vibration version of us. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
more elevated version of us. A
Yes.
more representation of black excellence is how I see you present yourself and do your thing. You know what I mean? So what I would just say is that all I gotta say is fuck the views, bro. Fuck the views. Focus on the system, building a because listen, man, it's not easy in the first little bit, man. It's not and because you know what? And it's even like with the way they always support you in the beginning. There's a thing that happens. You when you make your first 10 episodes, there's support, and then the support normally drops off around episode like 15, and then you have to like survive this little void part. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
it's like the original people didn't support you, then it's only this like a little void. And if you just survive that little part and you keep putting out stuff, eventually you become undeniable, and then they come back. You know, and you watch them go. I've watched it with family members. I've had uncles I've invited on the podcast. People that are, when it was year one, year two, they wasn't trying to come on the podcast. Okay, couple years later, now all of a sudden, but when it was Zoom or when it was audio only or when it was not so set up or when it was in another spot, whatever, like it was like harder to get. But it's like all I'm gonna say is keep pushing, man. Or because trust me, if you could just keep doing it, if you could just keep making episodes, if you could just keep getting a little bit. I'm telling you, they don't got the balls. The fact that you even got the technical skills to even know how to use the camera, they don't want to learn that shit, bro. I promise you, you have such an advantage if you could just stick with it, bro.
And the thing about it, I noticed with the percentage that you called out, they all have something in common.
It's Google.
A chance.
Yeah, they got a chance.
If you have a chance, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You know, we get. I know it's what people say. You have a high chance of this. They get real excited, and then they don't fall through. And then you tell them they have a low chance. You know, it motivates them because they pushes through and they get through. Just like people who go in for surgery, it's like, all right, you better have a very severe surgery and it's a very low chance, but they still go in there confident. You know, as you know, you gotta go in, they still go in there confident. Long as you have a chance, that's all that matters. You got to have a chance, and that comes from just watching. Let's look at Terminator. I believe it was. I can't believe which one was it, but in the movie, the lady said they asked the Terminator, "Can you tell us what type of chance are we dealing with to get through this?" He said, "We have a 12% chance," and she said to him, "Well, at least we have a chance at it. You know, we could not have a chance, and we could just be everything could be against us, but that we have like this hole in the wall. It could lead to us cracking down the wall." Lead into a crack, and eventually we'll break the wall down because we know that we have a chance at it. We know we can do something. We can get through it. You know, but when we don't have a chance, that's when I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? The fact that I have a chance to do it, that's why I chose this field. I believe personally, the day I decided to go into the film, quit my job and move down to Detroit, I knew I had a chance. You know what I'm saying? And
I love that.
If I didn't, then I was like, well, I don't have a chance at all.
I respect the hell out of it, dog. Let me tell you something. I love your mindset, bro.
Yeah, you gotta have a chance.
Your mindset, bro.
You gotta have
it's
confidence.
The reason why I tried to read, because I remember watching back your clip and you're thinking, it's just like, you see, man, for you to be in the game 9 years, there's a certain amount of like belief and confidence that has to be unshakable. There's a core of like, because it's like how I said Elon, like, oh, I can't make electric cars. Why? Because there's no gas here. I'll make that then. Oh, I can't like. It's like how I look at haters or people that try to come at me. It's like, if you think I'm not gonna make it, tell me why. Tell me why you think I'm not going to succeed. Because in you telling me why I'm not going to succeed, you're giving me the information that I need to succeed. Because you may be genuinely pointing out a weakness in my, oh, you almost got it, but your swag not right. Or you almost got it, but your topic matter. Or you almost got it, but if you did this, that, or did that, I'm like, huh? That's like something someone pointed out to me, which is crazy. I never even thought about it. He said this to me today. Swear to God, he said, you know what I noticed about your street interviews? And I said, what? I said, you always interviewing somebody that's shorter than you. And I said, what? I said, what? I said, I never thought about that. I was like, that's not true. I interview a couple taller people. But then I was like, you know something, now that you mention it, I went back and I scrolled through my street interviews. And I was like, you know, I did interview some people that are taller than me, obviously. But at the same time, for about 70% of it, he's kind of right. And I was like, That's something that I never thought about. And I was thinking about why? Why is that? I spent like 2 hours thinking about like why? Is it because it's mostly girls and girls are shorter? Is it because taller people are more intimidating to approach to actually be on camera? Is it like, am I just only approaching people of my similar like I was like, why is that? Because that's a peculiar thing. Why
Sometimes we
why
do
why the- why
things,
why is that?
and we don't notice some things that we do.
Yeah.
It be I won't say wrong, but we were doing things incorrectly. Like for example, I remember when I was taking pictures of the Greeks, I would take a lot of majority pictures of this fraternity and get all the pictures rather than everybody else. And it would start confusion, like, hey Will, what's going on? And it was like one of those things I didn't realize I was doing incorrectly. Like,
Favoritism or
yeah,
something.
it was
Yeah.
coming off as favoritism.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like that at all. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? It's just that in my head, these guys, they were
They
doing
were
a lot.
doing a
They
lot.
was
Yeah.
yeah.
It was the thing to capture
It
in the
was the
moment.
thing to capture,
Yeah,
you know.
it was the most
But I
energetic.
had to like,
I
all right,
understand that.
put a limit on that. Be like, hey, all right, this is enough. I know y'all gonna be doing some things, so
We gotta
I'll let
capture the
y'all.
rest of it.
I'm gonna have to go around 3 or 4 times with them, then come back to y'all because I'm giving y'all too much.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's funny. You right about that's fun. You see that's the thing about perspective. You know what I mean? So it's just like perspective is your reality, and I like the way you respond. Because you like, but that you see as a challenge, you see that as a- because that's what it takes, man. It's like whenever I make it, whenever I blow up, I'll think about my story sometimes, and I feel like
Ooh, yeah.
I feel like it'll be inspiring, but also not inspiring, because it's like I don't know, like sure I'm at 3 million views, but I've also released no exaggeration over 1,500 different original clips. Like of just podcast clips, I've dropped over like 450, close to 500 just podcast clips. After I make this episode 180, after I make it on episode 200, episode 250, like it's like, yeah, but he had to drop 2,000 clips before he made like. How was that? And oh, he blew up on episode 200. Yeah, after 3.5, 4, 5 years of fucking. How is that? Like, who wants to go through all that work, bro? Who wants to
I
sit there
mean,
and edit
hey,
1,000 clips? Like, if you said to somebody, yo, bro, if you put out a like, cause it's like how you think of the lottery, right? Like,
yeah,
what are the odds of getting a lottery ticket? What are the odds of going viral? You would think, all right, if I drop 100 clips and the odds are 1%,
yeah.
then one of those 100 clips should do it. If
Mm-hmm.
I drop 1,000 clips, uh, if I drop two, what the fuck, nigga? I'm like, but
The
what are the?
the
I'm like, Jesus Christ, and I'm just saying, it's not very inspiring. If I make it on the 3,000th clip, like, yeah, but Jesus Christ, yeah,
But the thing
like,
about it is, it's timing. It's
it's
timing.
not
It's not
inspiring.
about how many times you do it. It's just about when it's the right time.
Yeah.
I was reading something on the internet about a guy who created an electric vacuum cleaner or something with his own vacuum bag or pump, or he made a vacuum cleaner without the bag, the vacuum bag.
Yeah.
Inside the vacuum cleaner.
Yeah.
They say it took over 1,000 models to get to that. And when it came, when the right model came, it happened. He blew up as a billionaire. Kurt Franklin said something. He said, "Did you notice with microwave food, sometimes it don't have think of the difference between microwave food and the dinner being cooked correctly? It's the fact that microwave food don't fully have the full flavor." Whereas whenever your grandma cooks some food and she cook it on Saturday night and then she warm it on Sunday, the food would be so flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
Right on point. The greens taste so good. It's like the season was marinating. It was right. That's because it took time for that to happen. I grew up planting in the garden. My granddad would have the best looking garden ever. I mean, his garden looked better than the gardens out in the country. But it's because of the simple fact that, it took time. It blossoms. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like if a dog have a baby, they had about 6 puppies at one time, and then the next 6 months he's able to have more 6 puppies. Whereas an elephant can only have one baby, but when the elephant has one baby, everybody gather around because it's
Yeah,
something that's new and unusual. So when it comes to those things that take time, it's always new and unusuals.
I
You
feel
know
you.
what I'm saying? So
And I have gotten better. Like one of the things that keeps me pushing in the game is that I can see progression. That's one
yeah,
of the and also
that's good.
I see progression in my path that I've taken so far, and I also see further room for growth, areas I could improve in. Like for example, there's so many clips that I've still even podcasts before this where like I'm trying to make a clip of the person and they're making a good point, and for some reason I don't know what my energy, I don't know what was happening, but I am looking at the clip and I'm telling myself, would you shut the fuck up? They're talking, they're doing something right now. And I want in the clip editing it, but I didn't shut up. So I've overtalked enough guests and interrupted enough guests and been mad at myself with enough footage to know like, listen, man, at the end of the day, you brought the guests on to express themselves. You know, you brought the
Yeah,
like, yes, I get to express myself every time. They're here to offer their point of view. Shut up, ask them the question, and let them respond, bro. You know, like that sounds simple. You know what I mean? But when you have ideas or you have like a little tidbit you want to add in, sometimes it'd be hard to have the patience to like, yo, man, let them finish their thought, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Let them finish the thing they're trying to get off. You know what I'm saying? And know when to interject. When to let them get off. You know what I'm saying? Like learning that patience. Like I've gotten slightly better as an interviewer. We're giving people more space and time to express their thought and rebuttal and things like that. So I've gotten better at the podcasting as like a structuring it and being in the moment and feeling the ebb and flow of a conversation. You know what I mean? And learning when to change it up or when to
mm-hmm.
let the person rock. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's still like I said, man, the grind and the sitting there tired, trying to edit these clips and scheduling them out and all of that. It's just I feel like if I was doing what I was doing 10 years ago, I'd have been blue. No one was dropping this many clips like this quality. It's ridiculous. You not dropping 1,000. It's just crazy to me. It's just at this point, you have to just start develop slight conspiracy theories. You know, you know what I mean. But also with the experiment I run on people, I could see the comedic clips with just the voiceovers or just like it's nonsensical. There's no meat. It's junk food content. How I look at it. Like I like to say I make Flintstone vitamins content where it's like, yeah, it's candy, yeah, it's a gummy, but there's vitamins in. There's some substance in there.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
So, but the ratio I've been working on that where the ratio. What you want to say? Something on that?
No, no,
The ratio on the candy to vitamins thing is what I'm working on. Like, all right, it seems like it's too much vitamins, too much substance, not enough comedy, not enough just like fun, not enough just empty
yeah,
brain. Like, yeah, so I need to like draw you in with the comedy or the foolishness, and then you trip up and fall on some vitamins that you wasn't expecting, some thought provoking, something that
yeah,
trigger you to search for your inner self or search for higher meaning or to push to excellence or find a way to push towards a better version of yourself, whether physically, mentally, financially, family values wise, whatever area in your ear. What I always say is that depression is a sign that self improvement is necessary. You just have to find what area of self improvement will solve that depression.
You know what? It actually, when it came for me dealing with depression, what helped me get through it was number one, my faith, prayer, and number two, what really helped was counseling. Um, when I go to counseling, it's not always about me coming in and just venting to the counselor. It's about me seeing what is the problem. You know,
Yeah.
I remember my first time going to counseling. The problem wasn't the fact that I was depressed. The problem is that I wasn't letting go of what I was depressed about to get rid of the depression. It's like I was holding on to something that I could just easily let go. But at the same time, I'm at the time my mentality wasn't strong enough to um get rid of letting go.
Let go.
Yeah. And so what happens is at the time it's like since I saw since I saw how my parents deal with relationship, I kind of follow their steps,
How did
and
I know
that's
this was woman? It sounded like a woman problem. It sounded like it
yeah. It
sounded
was
like
it was a woman problem. I'll be honest with you, and I think and what was so funny about it being a woman problem, it was the problem was it wasn't that she was the problem. It was the problem I didn't know how to handle her.
mm.
That was the problem. I didn't know.
I got one question, one statement. I want to let you continue. I had one of the best friends in my life. He said something to me like a week or two ago, and I totally agreed and felt the same way. He said the best thing that ever happened to him was having his heart broken. How do you feel about that?
I agree. Cause can I tell you something? Me having my heart broken motivated me. It really motivated me. That's how I really got through it because it was like, okay, I gotta climb my way out of it. I want to be out of this, so I gotta climb my way out of it. Like as a young guy, because I would be real with you, I was like the first, like I think I was like one of the first people at Ferris to go that long without their virginity being taken away. So I had it was new to me dealing with girls because in high school I didn't date nobody. You know what I'm saying? Is when I got to college, you know, I was around black girls, and this is like my first time being around like
I feel you more
like
than you know.
being around black girls. I could actually I have the access and to talk to them and go on dates. And I remember a girl invited me over her crib. I'm not sure if she was trying to have sex or not. You know what I'm
She
saying?
was.
But she probably was, and I missed it
But
because
you ain't used to picking up on the cues. You're not
I'm
used
not
to
used.
it.
I'm not used
Yeah.
to being. I'm not used to
To
you
hunting
know
like that, to like putting
the
on
dating because no one really taught me. And the way they went about is like,
No one
all
taught
right,
me
if you ask her, she's gonna say yes, and you guys gonna go somewhere. And I'm like, that didn't work out in college, you know. You know, it happened. I went on my first day in college. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was dope because she was a senior. I was a freshman. It was unusual. It was cool. However, you know, things didn't work out. And I couldn't take it that way. For some bad reason, I couldn't let it go because, you know, I kind of, it felt so good to step out my comfort zone and try, you know. I'm like,
Especially with your first. Let me tell you something,
man,
bro.
it was
Let
tough.
me tell
It
you
was
something,
tough.
bro. As a person with
It took me 3 years.
as a person with a low body count who knows what it's like, who knows what it's like when your dick is not disconnected from your emotions. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And especially when you're not a piece of shit to do you know I always said men love way harder than women, bro. Because what a man is thinking when I'm like, it's like, bro, this is not. I'll fight the world for this bitch. This is my bitch, nigga. This is my woman, nigga. This is my bitch at the end of life, nigga. This is my bitch. Like, you don't understand, nigga. And now I gotta let her go. You gonna fuck my bitch? Yo, I was about to die for that bitch. You think you gonna fuck a nigga? Nigga, I'm gonna see you today, nigga. What, nigga?
Man, I was ready to fight for her too.
Yeah, I'm telling you, nigga. And it's like, bro. When I seen the power that women can have over me, when I seen how, like, when I broke up, when I like, heartbreak physically hurts, my nigga.
Oh
Like,
yes,
it fit like that's hard to. If you see, some
It's
of you
worse-
people ain't
it's
never
worse
been in
than a
love.
paper cut
Some
on
of
a
you
bee
people ain't
sting.
never been in love, bro. I lost some of the most weight of my life because I was in. I couldn't. My appetite was gone, nigga. Nigga, heartbreak is a physical reaction, my nigga. I was trying to. It's one of the reasons why I got 2 jobs. 'Cause I was like, I'm gonna just work all day because when I'm not working, all I can think about is like, it's like, and I'm the one that left, but I'm still had to realize. Yeah, but not because you know why? You know why? Because the truth is, especially as a creator, bro, I left her when I started my after I started my brand. I left her because as a creator, you have a woman, bro, and it's like, listen, I plan to lose weight this year. Nobody believe in me. I started my business. I'm starting my brand and shit. Nobody believe in me. I'm at 3 million views. Nobody believe in me. I'm at 180 episodes. Nobody believe in me. Nobody give a fuck about me. Nobody think I'm gonna make it for real. That's okay. That's all right. But let me tell you something. If I have a girlfriend, right? If I have a girlfriend, that's my girl, right? In my head, all right, I step out into the world, I'm on a battlefield. They're not supposed to believe in me. I get it. But the people that are in my house, my people, my woman, she's supposed to believe in me because I'm the one that's got to lead us to the front. Now, when you have your own girl that you feel like don't believe in you, and you as a creator, you have moments of doubt and you're searching for inside of yourself for that thing. And the one person that's supposed to maybe believe in you and love you also doesn't believe in you. They're like, oh no, you ain't shit, nigga. You should probably quit. You know what I'm saying? Or like, or you're not as good as this nigga, or they're not speaking life into you. It's like as a creator, that can kill your engine. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That can kill your. It's you know how hard it is to be a creator with a woman that doesn't believe in you.
Yeah.
It's damn near impossible.
It's hard
It's damn near
because
impossible.
as artists, I don't get me wrong, as artists we have dope craftsmanship, but as artists, I feel like we are the most emotional because we're sensitive. We're sensitive about our work. That's why we go so hard for it.
That's why
Because
we
we
can
want
feel it.
that's why we make you feel it because we shoot beyond perfection, not just for perfection, beyond it. I mean, to the point that we try to shoot to a point we like, all right, this the highest I'm gonna go, and then we find something like, wait a minute, hold up, this ain't right. We gotta shoot higher now, and with our love life, I always said the artists are the most romantic people, are the most gullible people because we need someone pushing us. We need that comfort. Um, when we're done with artistry, if you ever look at She's Gotta Have It, she's dealing with 3 different men because each man comfort her differently.
Can I say something about that show?
Yeah.
The whole reason why I watched that show because my mother told me to watch that show because that show. I'm from Brooklyn, born and raised, Fort Greene, Brooklyn. That show, She's Gotta Have It on Netflix. If you ever wanted to know what my neighborhood looks like, if you ever wanted to know what my specific neighborhood of Brooklyn looks like, I was in Brooklyn when they were shooting that show. I saw Spike Lee in real life. You know what I mean? I was in Fort Greene neighborhood, PS20, right down the block. She's Gotta Have It is my neighborhood in Brooklyn. Like Fort Greene
Wow.
Park, that whole thing, that so much of that show, I know. So I've been on almost every block that's in that show. You know
Wow.
what I mean? That She's Gotta Have It. The only reason why I watched that show and why I fucked with it a lot because it was my section of Brooklyn. For some reason, they decided to shoot that show in my specific section of Brooklyn.
That's
So
amazing.
that show was like a love letter to my neighborhood, in my opinion. So I fuck with that show heavy.
Yeah,
And you're right about that.
and it's just like we need that comfort, and that's what she did. She, every man like Mars, his comfort was comedy. He
yeah.
made her laugh. He tickled her because comedy is medicine for the soul, which
Yep.
it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's where he came in at. You know what I'm saying? So
But as a
we
creative,
we as creators we need comfort.
it's hard.
See, it's hard. We need comfort. I mean, you ever see a baby run into his mama or his parents, for pick them up and hug them and say good job, and or you see a kid, his parents is at his recital and they're getting done singing their Christmas song Feliz Navidad, and after he gets done, he's running to his parents to get she or he run to their parents to get a hug for them to say good job.
Yeah.
That's what we are when we
Yeah.
want from our partners. We want them to, when the world hit us hard and don't like us, don't love us, when we have that doubt, we come running to y'all to comfort us.
And you know something?
Yeah.
Speaking of that exact feeling, running to comfort, a baby, right? It's been captured several times on camera
Yeah.
where a baby will do something to hurt itself, right? The baby will be hurt, and the baby will be assessing the pain and thinking about it and getting up or whatever. And it's not until that baby looks up and sees the parent or sees someone and sees that they saw that they were hurt. Oh, now the baby's gonna cry. Now the baby wasn't crying like the thing happened, the pain happened. The baby wasn't crying. Baby was hurt. Baby wasn't crying. Baby looked up, saw the parent after that happened, and then started crying because the baby knew, oh, this person's gonna comfort me. Like I was about to deal with this problem myself. I was about to assess it, but now my parent, now I could just cry and they'll help me out. So, a man, you looking at your shorty, you went through whatever you went through, right? You dealing with the pain, and you look up at your shorty, and you know, if I show that this is bothering me, is she gonna comfort me or is she more likely to judge me because this is bothering me? You know what I mean? And it's like, huh,
Mm-hmm.
it's odd. You know what I mean? And then I had the weirdest thing. Like one of the, there's so many reasons why I had to leave my ex. But hear me out. How would you interpret this, right? So I signed a lease. I worked 2 jobs to qualify for an apartment, and I signed a lease so that me and my girl can move into this apartment. Right. Our moving date is November 30th. The lease is already signed. 10 days before we're supposed to move in, November 20th, because I'm working 2 jobs and I'm working 70, it's fixed my schedule, and I'm working 70 hours a week. It's to kind of qualify for the part, whatever. I fall asleep behind the wheel and I flip my car and I break my neck. Right.
Mm.
So now I'm in a neck brace, literally, and I'm hoping to move in to this apartment now. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 10 days after I broke my neck brace, guess who's driving? I mean, broke my neck and I'm in a neck brace, and I'm moving date November 30th. Moving date November 30th. You know what moving means? That means a big ass U-Haul truck. Guess
Yeah.
who's driving the U-Haul truck in a neck brace 10 days after the accident? This guy. Because she never drove a truck before, and I never drove a truck before. So how are we gonna drive a truck to get to you? So me in the neck brace barely can't even check my blind spots. I'm like this. I'm like this. Move on. I'm in the neck brace. I'm driving. I'm driving the truck though. Cool, whatever. So I still go to work or whatever. I help her move in and shit, and I still go to work at Lowe's in a neck brace because now I can't take time off work. I just signed a lease. I'm responsible to help pay this rent, so I have to go work in a neck brace. I don't have time. I can't stop. Move forward. We whatever. I'm not in a neck brace no more. My girl, that same girl, gets into a car accident. It's not as severe though. It's like a side swipe. To the point where I didn't even notice until I seen the damage on her car 2, 3 days after it happened, maybe a week after it happened. I'm like, you got damage in your car? You got into a car accident? I'm like, what happened? You ain't call me? Why you ain't call me? Why you ain't tell me you got into a car accident? And she says, because after the car accident, I was like traumatized. I didn't even want to drive. I was like going through a lot of like mental problems, and I saw how you handled your car accident, and you was in a neck brace, and I felt like because how you handled yours, you wouldn't have sympathy for me feeling traumatized going through my car accident. So I didn't feel like you would feel for me because of how you handled yours. So I didn't want to tell you about it because I thought you would like. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would you? I'm like, what? How does that make sense? I'm like, I am a man, dog. I understand. I have to perform. I don't have time to. So why would you think that I would hold you to myself? You know, my girl get into a car. Why would you think that I would be like, oh, you got to man up and get through it? Well, what would you think? Why would I? Why would I? Just because I had to man up and get through, and I had to push down my trauma that I was, doesn't mean that I'm gonna hold you to the same. So instead of you looking at your man and being like, "Oh, he's strong, he's resilient, he'll even work and get it done in a neck brace," you're like resenting my strength and being like, "Well, he's gonna hold me to that same standard, so I can't show weakness to him because of how he handled his." Like what? What was that? Like, what is the right answer? Like, if I would have been a little like flail, oh, I can't drive now, I can't because I got into an accident, I can't function now. If I would have did that after getting into an accident, then you would have felt like you could have came to me after you got into a car accident. But because I kept pushing and held it down and still performed, even though I was traumatized, I used to hear the sound of the glass breaking. And the car flipped up. You know how loud it is when glass break, when the car flipped? I didn't have a seatbelt on this. I didn't have a seatbelt on, and the airbags didn't go off. I heard the sound of it, and I didn't go like. And it's like I was traumatized too a little bit, but I didn't have time to like that can't affect. I have to move the U-Haul truck. I have to make the money. I have to pay the rent. I have to hold this together. I don't have time to be. And it's like instead of you being happy about that, you like almost seems like you almost resent me for like not falling apart. Like, and now now because of that you can't tell me about your car. It almost didn't even make sense to me. I'm like, wow, like I couldn't even figure out how that made sense. You know what I mean? Like I couldn't even. What was I? I don't know. I don't know, man. But women do that to you. So my question is this: so if you had to describe, because I already know what's here, if you had to describe, we're gonna bet you out. If you had to describe your ideal wife in your mind, what would you? What are some characteristics you would attribute to your future wife?
Um, I want her to be a God seeking woman. I want her to have companionship. Um, I want her to be something positive. Like she know how to be my cheerleader, and she also know how to
Mm-hmm.
be my coach. See, a cheerleader cheers. They cheer you up. They cheer when you're doing good, and they cheer you up when you're not so doing bad. They trying to pump you up. And then a coach, well, a coach leads you to help you help you set out plays and help you achieve the goal of winning the game or playing the game. I want her to push me, be my rock, my fire, be that I need for you, you know what I'm saying? Like um continue to push me, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
One a lady I could pray with, we can go out have fun. Um I'm not really picky on my women. A lot of women I go for are older than me. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just me. If you're a young shorty, you a woman that stand out to me, and But most of my women either my age or I shoot high. I mean, I shoot a little bit older. I want my woman to come with me, support me. I want to support my woman. I want to whatever she got going on be a support system for her as well. I want to respect her. I want to hear her out when she got something to say, or I want to comfort her when she needs me, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I want to serve her, be good to her. I feel like nowadays when it comes to marriage, everybody makes it about the wife.
Mm.
It's not about the wife. It's not about the husband. It's about the commitment you made with God. That's the thing about it. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? And he gave you someone to take care of. That's your job to take care of. I watched my great grandfather and my great grandmother be married for over 80 years. Well, not all of 80 years, but the years that I was born. Seeing
Yeah.
them, you know, she cooked for him and he planted for her. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Um, there were times where she didn't agree. Like there was a time where he told her, "All right, I'm getting rid of them stoves in the basement. You too old to be going down there and carrying them hot plates up the steps. You can't do that no more. You too old." And my granny was upset, but she didn't realize my husband is he's concerned about my
It's
age.
caring
And
for
yeah, he
you.
cares for me. He got to make this decision because if he don't, then I'm gonna keep doing it and something may happen. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Um, Stuff like that. I seen how, um one thing I learned about looking at my great grandparents and their marriage is that, um they always looked out for each other. My great granny, he could barely hear. And I remember my granny, she would always talk to him clearly and loudly before he could hear.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And he knew my granny would forget a lot of things. He would always remind her,
Mm-hmm.
Hey Mamie, you got them bottles of water by your couch. You gotta get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Mm.
it's not about him or her. It's about y'all and God. You know what I'm
I
saying?
respect that.
You gotta learn how to, you know, you got to learn that process, that triangle process. God is at the top of the triangle. He's the main peak, and y'all two are the on the sides. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So you gotta make sure you remember that. You know what I'm saying? And
I respect that.
yeah, we got to stop allowing them influencers to be on social media brainwashing our kids, making it all about him and her. No, that's not true. That's
It's
Satan.
about
Satan
God.
Satan is using that to divide us. That's why people are getting divorced because they're like, I can't stand this crazy woman. She thinking everything about her. And then the woman saying, I can't stand this man. He think he supposed to control me and not. It's not about control. It's about unity.
See, it is about unity, but the women have this problem with control thing. I'm not even gonna question that because it's too late.
You gonna get some started.
I don't want to go down that rabbit hole. All I gotta say,
You see, I
I
ain't
ain't even
fixed
going.
it up, and you was gonna start something. I ain't got us fixing everything. You gonna start, you gonna make a mess, man. You go on that route.
All I'm saying is this, man. Security is the man's job. That's the
There you
truth.
go.
And security is also the Secret Service's job. That's the truth. And even though you're the president of the United States, guess who you have to check in with? Guess who you have to tell where you're going? Guess who you have to make sure? The Secret Service. And if the Secret Service don't say you can be there, even though you're the president of the United States, the Secret Service is in
Trump, I
charge
don't
of
know
security. And if the Secret Service says you can't do it, Mr. President, guess what? You can't fucking do it. All right. So if my job is security, I can't be in charge of being secure of something that I can't control. If my job is security, then I got to control the situation. Security always sets the rules. You know who sets the rules from the military, the police. Why? Because they enforce the rule. If they have to control, you want me to be in control of making something safe that I can't control. So that's what, like, I always remember I had these niggas that tried to fuck with me in the hood, right? They tried to fuck with me in the hood in Far Rock, right? I had a crazy uncle. I knew I had a crazy uncle. I knew for a fact that if I told my crazy uncle that these niggas was fucking with me, my crazy uncle would have been out there beating ass immediately. But I loved my uncle, and I knew that I didn't want him to get arrested. And I knew that, you know what, I'll take this ass whooping so that my uncle doesn't have to get arrested. Because if I tell my uncle, y'all niggas is getting fucked up, my nigga. I don't know what's gonna happen to my uncle, but y'all niggas gonna feel it before the cops get here. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. But I'm like, you know what? I love my uncle enough that I'm gonna keep him out of harm's way. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I hope a woman would do. Like, a woman would listen. My man is crazy. My man love him. My man will kill y'all niggas. But I love my man enough to keep him out of prison. So I'm gonna try to not put him in a position where he gotta defend me to that degree, because he will, and then he'll be in jail, and then I'll be fucked up. So, you know, hope a girl would love me enough to not make me have to defend her in a way that destroys the kingdom. You know. But anyway, with that being said, look. So the last 3 questions I got for you. Number 1, this used not to be controversial, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. Do you love America?
I signed up to fight for America because obviously, I love y'all enough that I signed up to fight for y'all. Yeah,
All
I
right.
love y'all.
I respect that.
I
All
love
right.
y'all and Hot Wings. I love both of y'all. That's why I fought for y'all. I wanted to keep America alive and Hot Wings.
I respect the fuck out of that. Listen, I hope you live a very long life. I hope you live to you like 155 years old. And I hope one day, for some reason, you know, you decide to look back on this episode to tell your friends, yo, man, I was on this Fat Nigga podcast one day. I was over there doing my thing. Let me show you this episode. Y'all don't even know, back in the day, back when I was a young king making my way out here. And if there's a message, if you were looking back on this episode when you're 80 years old, what is a message you would want to have for your future self looking back at this episode? What do you want to say?
The message I have for my future self is to continue to follow God's voice and to continue to be you, and do not allow your emotions to distract you from making a decision that's beneficial for you. That's what I would tell my future self. Um, it's important that we continue to always remember the purpose and the assignment, regardless of what we got going on. Don't get comfortable. You know, when things going good, don't get comfortable. When things going bad, don't get comfortable. Continue to progress, continue to trust God, and continue to move forward. Always continue to move forward.
Smart.
I had to tell myself that when I was as a younger self. I watched
Speaking of youngest, I'm not good. Sorry.
When I was younger, I watched this movie called Meet the Robinsons.
Yeah.
And one thing I love
wow.
about Meet the Robinsons, they had a very important message. We realized that we can't change the past because we may throw something off. So, however, we continue to move forward. Keep moving forward. You know what I'm saying? You made a mistake, you failed. Okay, well, the best way to go about it is to learn from it. You know what I'm saying? If you had, like, for ladies, you let a man move in and he making all these rules in your household, that's the house in your name, and he not paying for nothing. Well, I hope the lesson you learn for that is don't let a motherfucker come in and run your house who don't pay them bills. I hope you learn that lesson and you move forward from it.
And to quote a great man right here, experience is experience.
Experience,
Experience is experience.
Just don't allow that to be the same experience.
Exactly. Hope you learn from that motherfucker. Learn from it. So the other question I had for you, I was going to interject you, was like, there's a lot of young people watching. You never know, young people watching the next generation. So you looking back to your younger self, if you had to give your 20-year-old self advice, what would you tell your 20-year-old self if he could watch this? What would you say to your 20-year-old self?
I would tell my 20-year-old self is be you. Um, Follow God and believe in you. You know what I'm saying? When I was 20, I felt like I was very shy and I was very nervous because um, I didn't want to fail. However, failure, um, I noticed whenever I made a mistake, I learned from it and I progressed 20 times better because I took the class and the class was failure. And the class, I learned the lesson from failure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what made me be 20 times better. Can I tell you something?
Mm-hmm.
I felt the animation class real bad. I wasn't doing the work. I wasn't trying to do the work, and I wasn't trying to learn. So when I failed and I had to retake the class, I passed with a B. I went from an E to a B, which is the big jump.
Yeah.
You know, a huge jump.
Mm-hmm.
Huge jump. It's like you go from a 51% to a 85%. That is a huge increase.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I learned so much and I improved. It was to a point that I remember when I first took the class, it take me about a whole week to even try to do inch of the work. Whereas I remember the second time I took the class, I finished my homework within seconds in class from animation because I learned from it.
Yeah.
I learned the lesson from failure. And that's the point of failure, to learn the lesson.
They say the difference between the master and the novice is that the master has failed more times than the novice has ever even tried.
Preach.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it comes from failure. You know what I mean? Like, the reason why I learned how to lock in this autofocus, why I'm so happy to see that it's gonna look so good when I do, is because I failed to lock in the autofocus, and that failure hurt me enough to investigate how to not fail again in that particular way, and then I conquered that particular form of failure. I'm sure there'll be another thing, like a weird audio hiccup or something else, you know what I'm saying? But regardless, I was able to conquer that version of failure. So here's what I'll say. I think I asked all the questions, the time count, got everything. Thank you for coming on the podcast, bro.
Thank you for having me.
I'm grateful for you to come on, and hopefully one day we can do this again.
Oh, we always will.
Would you come back again? I appreciate
Yes, I
you.
will.
I appreciate you. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
sir.
And of course, anytime if you ever wanted my big ass to show up on your pod, happily to do a cross promotion, man. We make it happen. But listen, man, y'all already know. But listen, there's a lot of places your ears could be. I'm honored they chose to be with me. When in doubt, use calm honesty to express your vision. And most of all, thanks for listening.
See y'all later. Will Holder Productions, Wildlife. You know what the time is.
You already know.
Charlie G TV.
We out.